O mic tá mutado. Puta que pariu. E a do jogo também. Puta que pariu. Pera aí, chat.
For 100 Thieves.
Aí,
Everything
chat.
that could go wrong did go wrong. And all right.
Porra!
You showed me that round in a vacuum and then told me one of these teams is up 9-0. Who is it? I would have guessed EG. That was just ridiculous. Everything that could have possibly been dismantled was DiMartino fighting into link with a self-stun.
Eu acredito, eu acredito.
It's just a nice shot from DG, a little whiff out of cryo.
Apesar de eles terem jogado ontem e ter que jogar hoje de novo, eu acredito.
I mean, a little levity to what is felt like an execution thus far.
Sometimes you just need that first round, Mimi.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the floodgates. I don't know if this is that time.
We're so back, boys. Let's go,
so
EG.
Back. Oh, we'll see what happens here. Thieves can get over the mental hurdle of losing one round.
Yeah, so true.
Ai, corredores meus, tá tudo tanta coisa.
Oh, calm, don't die in this.
Sound advice.
Times is.
Giannis is getting repositioned a little closer, but now the Prowler spots him. Pressure mounting as the onslaught of EG members support Calm. Nice work from him. Hit his before dropping. Now these rounds getting a little bit scattered out of 100 Thieves.
Caralho!
Look at Cryo still
Eu
stuck
buscar
around
agora.
mid. That's a 3K out from Okeanos. The floodgates are opening.
Yes, they are. I mean, another round where just a few little mistakes for 100 Thieves. Nice timing and how they fight up into short. I think maybe an overcommitment. This is a team that's been very thorough in playing
Legal, chat, ó.
rounds and finding the
Ele
right
tá
site.
aqui, tem
It
a
feels like the
barreira
first time this game they've
aqui
actually
e
hit
a outra
a
no
site
meio.
with
Só que as
players on
duas
it.
estão desligadas.
2 rounds in a row as well, where 100 Thieves is a little bit quicker too. Rounds where Citizens Op isn't finding a huge amount of value like in this last round. It's been heading over towards the seaside, which means the actual fighting on site from EG has been a little bit more supported. Multiple rifles and players rotating over, so good work there. We'll get 2 in a row for EG.
Boa.
9-3. I don't want to oversell it, but it does make it doable. Remember, they won 3 out of 4 of their pistol rounds and bonus rounds. The game that they won against Envy. They've been good for that, and that's the
Agora vai bônus.
Okeanos, good to see him getting it going. I feel like since joining the CG roster, I haven't had that game where I'm watching and thinking, this is the guy that impressed me so much on LEV last year.
100 Thieves working into mid. A player here, Okeanos, the high line. Found just yet.
Vai smocar janelão.
This fight into garage went poorly for Bao the last time. This time falls into the backside. This time the operator is there and the ult canceled in backside. Dodges it nice on the first one, taken down, and the rest of 100 Thieves here in full force.
DG fez o dele, pegou o dele. Agora o problema é o
Now
time.
takes the forward position. He can play inside this pit. Got a lot of room to work with.
E agora o
No
cara.
decay to affect him. The shorty as well. Stepping into it, that's 3 for him, and 100 Thieves right back in it.
The more you watch this Vito get played, the more situations you think about just how strong that ult can be. Being able to sit in a pit with a shorty out and have the HP advantage is so big. And this round felt just way more like the rest of this game. Great scaling from 100 Thieves, getting the spam kills they've been finding all game. And going up 10-2 at the half. It's desperation for EG. Let's see if they've got anything left in the tank after this.
Intervalo da EG.
Can I help you, sir?
Here's the bill from the dealership where I got Mike, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine.
Not how it works.
Not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T mobile bill for a better deal today.
O copy vem solto. Eita, EG, let's go, EG. EG é... A gente tá torcendo por causa do DG, né? Voltou.
Starts towards long, but can teleport back if needed.
EG played so passively on the defensive side. Interesting to see 100 Thieves. Play by Bunny. Okay. But no one's looking in that corner. A little bit shaky. Stun doesn't matter. Matino drops his own stun. It's a 1-for-1 at the start as Evil Geniuses
2-1.
destroy this mid hole.
DG pegou
Great pick from
o
Supa.
que tinha matado o
It's
homem.
the perfect time to swing, and now he's fighting for more.
It might be too much. Up into window and shut down. And that's a problem because the rest of Evil Geniuses real far back. The only space they had was in garage. Now that they've lost that player, have no information on this map at all.
Gives time for 100 Thieves to group. Work together outside of garage and a chance to push through.
Turret getting a ping. Odd.
Eu sabe que tem costa.
Still a lot of question marks.
O Fogo tá pegando ainda por cima.
There he is.
Tudo indo lá pra... Nossa, irmão. Que B.O. Os três estão na A achando que vai pra A e eles estão limpos pra plantar.
That turret guarding long is really nice though.
Nossa.
Step up towards ceiling. Forward position here. Very early for 100 Thieves to deal with. Opening exchange. The brief ceasefire ends.
DG pegou mais um.
Killing blow on Vora.
O corredor tá vindo, ele tá vindo. Vai pegar, pegou os dois. Nossa, que bala. O cu tá largo hoje, DG. DG fez 4 kills hoje. Dois aqui, meio corredor, mano.
And Okeano's excited about the prospect of round 14.
Absolutely wild. He's been so loose.
Okeano ficou contente que o time ganhou.
He's having fun even after
showing off his other skills, some great artwork there.
Trailing N3 still. Energy free.
Spec do Bulldog só tem...
You see how heavily AG's buying into this one. Control all these guns feels like a necessity. That bonus round a good chance.
O DG tá de olho ali.
You're against them. Oh.
And that's a counter paranoia ready to go. That's not utility in EG's hands. Stun doesn't do too much, and now Calm gets that kill back and deep. Right for Evil Gene. Stick around though. And some more stall as Drone has only seen the Viper here.
3 of them still holding together. This crossfire could be brutal.
Um mais cagando que o outro, chat. Tudo no modo lentinho pra ver se vai, não vai. Se erga, não erga. Se ruxa, se não ruxa.
Ball's gonna drop soon, and that's gonna be the start of things. Bang. Right on the other side is ready for it.
Pegaram. Caralho. 2 pra 1. Plantaram. Viper fez de escudo.
It's very good that they did not lose that round because they were hitting straight into his stack. But still, with how heavily they bought in, Using 2 guns is not insignificant. I want to make a real comeback here. A good effort into this bonus round. It's going to be big, and it was just the anti-eco, but I do see some concerns that I've seen as a theme.
Oh my god, I only got 1?
That's my biggest concern. Only one
That
eco?
is a big one, but with comms calling, I've seen a lot of these rounds where they take an early extremity, freeze, and just re-hit with low info, without really prodding the other side. That can lead them to sometimes hitting low info into stacks, like we saw in that round.
Again, playing with limited information on the map, 5 players. Okay. It's a little bit peculiar though, because it's so quiet from EG, not really showing anything. Quick exchange down into long. Asuna rotates on in. This time though, I don't think Evil Geniuses are gonna go for that protracted pause. Instead just waiting for this wall to drop, and Okeanos catches a shaky Asuna. Vora also dropping. Where did the Thieves go?
EG again, freeze and re-hit. This time, just win every gunfight. I suppose if you don't win in the macro, just hope every one of your players in the 4-on-4 gets the win.
Yeah, sure, why not? And this is what we saw yesterday versus
Olha, se liga, já
NRG.
tá os 3
Winning the
aqui.
pistol, clean
O
conversions
Vitor tá
on the
aqui.
bonus, like, this is
Enquanto
an
o Sova
EG
tá
that could get a little bit
literalmente
scarier
sozinho
as we get deeper into the second half.
no bombe da Aqui no
Remember that
conector.
NV game, and just think about the fact that EG would have had no business winning that first map if it weren't for the bonus rounds. Won both on Pearl. And from this game too, where they should have had no business coming back in down 10-2, actually have a shot.
Ó, que o jogo vai sair na porrada.
Get these big leads, and the game starts to become close. That was plaguing them all throughout
Here's the
2025.
solution, never get a big lead.
Huge.
Always come back.
Is there a cowbell down there?
There is a cowbell.
That's awesome. These shots from Okeanos as well. Also was just kind of caught out in the open.
Step by step, guys. Step by step.
Very true.
Sound advice.
Forte. E no fatiando,
Still have a
fatiando.
bye here, though.
Thus far, EG is called away from this veto, anchoring the BC side of the map. It's very rare you see Cryo set up A.
100 Thieves playing really heavily into mid to allow them to rotate. Supremacy necessary. So again, these quiet rounds make 100 Thieves a little bit nervous because they don't really have that much forward information right now. I think a haunt was just thrown on A long. They got instantly broken. That's all they know.
Much like Chamber, Vito basically needs help when he's soloing the BC side of the map. Unlike a KJ or a Chamber who have 2 info utility, a lot more space. See, Hunt having to aggress elsewhere, but Supa.
And you saw the barrel of the gun. Supa holds the line. Those Timatino's trapped in the corner, and it doesn't matter. He fights up through the stun with Calm to support.
Joga
Another
demais.
clinical round.
Não, o DGzinho joga muito, mano. O problema não é o DG em si, mano. O problema é que
See, that's a
o
judge
time deu uma pinada no começo aí da partida, pelo que eu vi. E agora eles estão tentando repor tudo, né? Fora que eles jogaram ontem, né? Isso é sacanagem também, mano.
Nor the veto side of the map, prioritize A. It's almost always going to be lack of information on that side.
Get your clipping tool of choice ready.
Okay.
See some TikTok teleport shenanigans.
Don't worry, guys. He's not in here.
Give us one more TP, Asuna. Come on. Go all the way into long. TP for the ninja. No time. Goes for the classic of all things, weak.
You can now close your clipping software of choice.
Não deu.
It wasn't worth it. Unless you're hate watching. And then you're eating good. Wow. So what does that make that? Is that now 6 out of the last 7 for Evil Geniuses? Failing back to the
Don't
last
laugh
half.
at that. Chrissy said 6 out of, not back to back. Okay. We're never gonna win this battle.
I don't know why you're fighting it. You just got to accept it, Mimi. There's no point. 100 Thieves, they're gonna be the ones to call the timeout. give a life that, hey, Potter, you can now discuss things with your team again as well. That's nice after using both timeouts in the first half. 100 Thieves are faced with similar problems where a lobby has been a weakness.
Yep, and I'd like to see them just commit into playing some of these retake A ideas. Something I really liked the last time that they were playing this map was how often they were pushing through flanks on their retakes. Normally it would be Timatino either working something aggro towards a lobby or outside of C in the mid round, and then letting him off the leash to push through and get information. PG hasn't really been defaulting outside of, you know, leaving one player, usually Bao, outside of that A area at the beginning of the rounds to contain. I think that mid-round re-aggression into flank retakes could really help their problems on A.
I think the thing that might dissuade them from doing that is I feel like they're still playing very limited information. So if they want to do aggression, they either need to put some punch behind it, you know, multiple members be loud, or it's kind of like flipping a coin whether or not someone's going to be holding that space.
I also think with Fade, with the double prowler,
VG puxou uma ult lá.
challenging the Viper utility in a lobby.
Tem
You can
ult.
power through and kind of keep pressure up in that area, and I think that's the approach we're seeing this round.
4 players on a lobby. Now, it is one rifle. That's in Cryo's hands, and well, that was pretty loud from 100 Thieves, so Evil Geniuses, they're just gonna hold this smoke and make sure no one can keep walking.
Thankfully, despite that Viper being alone,
Ó, se liga, o DG tá aqui sozinho.
and then over towards C
Na
connector
C,
with
junto
the double
contra a
TP,
Viper lá, ele sabe que
his
tem a
teammate
Viper.
if they need.
Silly tech.
I think that stuff is
rotates.
legitimately one of his
Enquanto isso, a
strengths.
turma tá
though.
tentando entrar nos dois meios
Kind of
aqui, ó.
like if Yoru and Chamber could kind of have like
DG vai
both
matar.
worlds. Like, he doesn't do either of those agents as well as what they do. We have the quick rotates of a Yoru as well as the quick get out of jail free.
But 100 Thieves also plays way less Yoru than pretty much anyone else, so it's nice to have that compromise.
Nossa.
Good night. Well, you're getting what you asked for, Mimi. There is a flank out of a lobby. Unfortunately, Bao is still hanging out in spawn.
Tie in for next round.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he also got the scouting report on these flanks coming in, so he can just now play heavy contain on the anti-eco. It's the timing, though. Turret telling him there's players in mid, and it doesn't matter.
Ó, o homem tá segurando o bomb. Viper, o Superman só pegou e fez a grande kill.
And 100 Thieves, this is where we get a look at how they wanted to approach that timeout. I liked the A lobby fight they went for there. But I think what is going to be a problem if they go for that flank approach that I talked about is you gotta kill Bao. I think that means instead of sending Timo on solo flanks like we saw in their last game, give him a friend. Maybe Calm, he seems like a great friend from that clip.
Got his teammates back. And right now it's Digital and Calm that are kind of just farming during this win streak for Evil Geniuses. Again, quick up into A lobby at 100 Thieves. Back-to-back rounds. It wasn't just an
Meu Deus, o
eco
time
strat.
inteiro tá no DD.
Adaptation from the timeout, but Evil Geniuses respond in turn. Already up into window. Then anticipates and taken out.
Já sabem que tem.
That hurts now. Still a player on C site to deal with. Cryo steps in as well. This is a brutal pinch. Now as the Hunter's Fury comes in, it's actually Calm to lay down supporting fire for EEG to get the spike down.
Big whiff from Bang, puts it back into a 4-on-4, and with no flank with a Viper's pit down, this is a very difficult retake.
The only way in will be Vora's Nightfall. But there's still that late pressure of Calm that'll come into Garage. 100 Thieves have to anticipate it. Can't wait too long. Vora's looking for the right angle on this, but all
Vai
it means is
ultar pra
more and more time
perder.
gone.
No Prowlers to follow up. Super can still hang out in his pit.
2 players caught on the Nightfall. Bao decayed down. But too much time has been bought. Calm is already approaching on the flank. Calm takes down the first, and his head swivel back towards him. The rest of Evil Geniuses find their mark. 100 Thieves look out of sorts. Get on out of there, Vora. You don't stand a
Superman
chance.
foi muito gênio, mano. A
Nightmares
turma foi
here,
pra
even
trás e
after
veio
100
vir pra
Thieves.
frente. Porque eu tô bem aqui no canto, tô achando que tava atrás, sendo que tava bem no cantinho do caixote. Isso poderia ter até visto, mas eu acho que viram que eles estavam com muito tempo perdendo, né?
How do your opponent's timeout change it up? Know that they're going to shift the setup. Know that C's going to be light. And give us two beautiful mid-round C heads.
Let's go, guys!
Let's go, guys! Bora, bora, rapazes! Jogando a cara de todo mundo, falando que vai.
Actually taking this fight into A lobby again. I'm 100 not answering it. This time it's Cryo. Bring this A side. Limited support.
Already not so low. Without a TP to get out of sight either.
Goes to the outlaw buy. All 5 members of 100 Thieves on light armor. Down low, but where to wait? Jump peek. Easy pickings for him.
Interceptor will slow things for another moment, but EG have no intention but to re-hit.
Tracking that head even through the box.
Now they're going to get suspicious, so they see the neon there, they hear the veto, they understand this is a step, but they don't have a lurk to call back into. They'll have to take some time re-clearing space.
But 100 Thieves don't have information on B or C either. It's just solo players, so a very passive play from Bang as he has to patrol both B site and garage. It's a little bit uncomfortable. 25 seconds on the clock, and B will be the call from Evil Geniuses. A high TP out of Okeanos. The first one goes his way. Dodging around as Timotino comes in on the flank, ripping apart the back lines. 100 Thieves attack from every single front and find so much success. That spike left in the open. No time left for Val. 100 Thieves will take their first of the half.
Both teams play that round.
Eu vi que você estava literalmente mandando mensagem, só que eu escutei agora.
100 Thieves had passive anchors on CNB. EG only had to contain with the turret.
Ah não, você mandou onde? No YouTube?
Except for towards A. So when they realize the stack has been called into that site, EG have to gamble and hit B with low info.
Porra, foi mal. Foi mal.
Practically the entire team there.
Foi mal. Aí a culpa é do Papi.
Pushes in on the flank.
Invited appearing, there we go. 5 players ready to go here.
Ah, na hora eu tava jogando solo.
Mid instantly back. It's a fake teleport from Okeanos. He's been enjoying this in recent games right at the beginning of round already. 100 Thieves out their spawn. Realize that's going to be a fake.
Aqui tem delay.
Back to the more usual veto setup towards C, and Cryo dead in an instant. Good night.
That's trouble. And now Vora caught out by the utility. Somehow goes unpinged. No one's looking at him. Vora! You madman! Still alive. No support.
Eu consegui take off, mas será que eu vou conseguir autorização do Master? Que é outro campeonato, né?
100 Thieves taking their time. Where does Calm move from here?
Eles estão chateados, estão aqui, ó.
It's uncomfortable.
Solo tá aqui sozinho, matou mais um. Nossa, nossa!
We'll take 11 for 100 Thieves.
That was the same spot from the last Calm clutch on this map that people remember. Practically the same scenario. But this time it's Bang on literally.
Pô, eu tava acreditando que a EG ia buscar, velho.
Times out the stun. And then Timotino, who sends himself in there to die so Vora can get those kills, just lines it up for him.
And that's a heartbreaking round. The momentum on this comeback suddenly stunted.
Thieves ready to fight for A once again.
They know Bao has this ult. Don't want to allow an execute to come through.
Trying to pivot away from here. are aware and trying to get these.
Tá no
Timing.
canto.
It is 11-8 rounds.
Botou o robô. Desmoncou o
Very
corredor.
quick rotation in from Cryo, but spotted by the drone. It's 12-8 in
Apologies,
fast.
yeah.
Match point here.
Oh, nice timing
Boa.
from Supa. That is brilliant.
Só vai pegar o terceiro.
Next one
Boa.
steps in and deleted. Evil Genius is in full control now.
And that's reminding me of the Supa of last year. So good in these positions and another fight ready for him.
Supa deu uma recuada. Agora vem 200, hein, chato? Se liga.
Ooh,
Ah!
Tracking a little bit dangerous for a moment. 3 now for Timotino. Still though, so little time, and now with Nanos being chucked onto the spike, round should be a wrap. Needs the half stick and will not find it.
100 Thieves are struggling to deal with this Viper wall in A lobby. They feel the need to commit so many resources to fight into that space, but the rest of the map has been weak. And because Cryo as a Sentinel has low information, doesn't have a second piece of utility to hold space, Supa's realized he can find these gaps, work aggressively through Garage, and open the entire map like a cannon.
So, another game point, 400 Thieves. Austin actually only with a stinger. Always been
Como
catching the
assim,
short
o
end of these buys, whether it's a Judge or a SMG. Close behind. Have some ultimates to work.
Mano, você acredita que
Nice little lineup there for the Nano.
DGzinho tá salvando a EG, viado?
100 Thieves have moved in pretty quickly though. I like this
Buscou
call
ainda
from
na
Genius,
primeira
just
ainda.
pump the brakes.
A better
Pra quem
setup
tava
for
10 a 0,
three
viado.
player in Garage. Players posted forward, down A short. They lack information towards long. Battle Prime rotates to come back in. 100 Thieves. Bora is calling this one.
This is
He
a
thinks
great
it's an A
read.
finish, and it is a good read.
Yep, especially after seeing that Viper wall go up. This is about the timing you'd expect to start seeing players. 4 seconds, and maybe 100 Thieves could overthink it, but now with some noise is made to give up the play. Still, Timotino in the corner. Oh my word, he is gone. A lockdown with less than 30 seconds on the clock. 100 Thieves are holding their ground, fighting in. Cryo advances and has a corner in long. 2 players tuck away. Com is going to have to deal with them. There's so little time left. EG have 10 seconds and need these fights. Bora still alive. As the spike goes down, 100 Thieves approaching on every angle. 2 alive for Evil Geniuses. Supa stepping forward. Between these smokes, the first is his. Tucks into Hells, the drop comes down, a 1-on-2. Bow, it is. What else is there? Bow's got it. EG stay alive.
Huge Red Bull clutch for Bao. He had a nightmare start to this game alongside EG. But now comes online. Dropped a 30 bomb in their last series. Stepping up here again. He makes such great choices. How he fights around these smokes and how he isolates the duels in the 1v2.
Let's go! I'm activated now, buddy!
Potter knows that's what they needed. Keeps EG in this game. And with 100 Thieves reset to another eco, now they're the ones calling the second timeout in a half.
100 Thieves have 2 chances to come up with 1 answer on this defensive side. So, while they don't have the buy on this next round, I want to ask, when they did piece together those 2-round wins, is there something they can tap back into to replicate that success?
Yeah, I do like the rounds where they're fighting for a lobby control. I think they have to deny that space. But what I'm still waiting for is to see these rounds where they're being willing to re-aggress further in the mid-round. I don't know how much they figured it out yet, but most of these rounds, EG is playing 4-1s and not actually proactively holding space in mid, or if they're leaning towards C, only have 1 player containing towards A. I think being willing to test these extremities, test that space in mid a little bit more, is going to go a long way to better punishing EG when they go for these low info, late round executes that they've done round after round.
Yeah, because Bao's hold has been a little bit more reserved when he's containing. A little bit deeper. You have more room to work with, if you so please. What the idea is now for 100 Thieves. 3 players down long trying to farm an orb. Bang, if he gets that orb, that would have been the ultimate online for the final round of regulation. Major implications. Rest of this one off of just that spam kill. Good night.
Nice cleanup for EG. Staying steady on this anti-eco and ensuring that the fate of this game rests in the last round.
Brian was actually teleporting back towards the C side. We anticipate he is going to try and end up dying to someone here.
He was trying to get the orb.
The C orb. Yeah. Gotcha.
Wants to have that evolution for next round.
Either way, you're dying here anyways to get your money and you unlock that one, but I had to go for a spike death, I suppose. Not like you're going to have any chances to unlock major final round. They've already got their 3.
It's been so interesting. Both teams have struggled to solve the exact same problem. How do we deal with the Viper lurk wall on a lobby? It's been such a problem for defenders.
Ganharam na Equa.
Have information towards that A side of the map, trying aggressive looks, trying to play more passive, and even when they switch it up, getting ran over on C. But now, there's one last chance for 100 Thieves to figure it out.
And for 100 Thieves, there are 2 win conditions in this final round. First one, Timotino has gone for the operator. Where is he going to play to get the early picks? Second, IO has evolution. And when there's big major ultimates on the other side, how can he use that to his advantage? To anchor down a site, even with a Hunter's Fury coming in.
Cryo died, boosted up the previous round on C. That operator makes it all the more difficult. After failing to initially, he regrouped towards mid, an area of the map that they've barely touched this attack half.
Back in Gong as well.
But for most of this game, 100 Thieves needed resources for A. Just one Neon with an op.
100 Thieves just cleared down C long. I think they've got to be ready. Heavy presence in mid. G, Est Garage, pull out
Como
of
assim não tá saindo a voz
kills
dele?
come down yet.
Ah, do mano, não é,
Now
mano?
the B hit. This is where EG are going to gamble everything. Ditches in, taken down. That's another. In a 3-on-5. Heroes are needed. Bao could be that guy for EG. He's still stuck here, but it falls to calm. The spike down. 25 seconds left. OT a far cry away. It won't be there. 100 Thieves.
Foi mal. Foi mal. E você entrou e não falou ainda. Porra.
Eu falei tanta coisa que eu não lembrava mais.
Mas tá bom, mas tá bom. Tá bom, pelo menos. Eu sei, eu sei. Eu sei. Aí, você acredita, mano, que quase buscaram ainda?
Não acredito.
Quase o EG ainda ganha.
It has always been a classic for them. Same time, EG, after coming back and getting so close, have to feel a little bit of that hunger for the next map. We're going to be jumping into that second map in just a moment, so don't go anywhere.
Jogaram muito. Pô, mas 9-0, viado. 9-0.
Pouco.
Difícil de buscar também, né?
Pouquinho. Porque... Vamos fazer assim, não é difícil, mas... Não é fácil de buscar 9-0.
É, não é à toa que a porra do, assim, da partida e você ficou mais tranquila na hora que o DG começou a jogar bem na hora de dar o win.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Red Bull gives you wings. Pô, não importa onde seja o Red Bull, né? Literalmente Red Bull que dá asas.
Sim,
É o slogan.
é famoso. O slogan é muito famoso. Tem como.
E é simples.
Uhum.
Mano, eu tô achando estranho. Minha filhotinha toda quietinha hoje. Eu sei porquê, mas tô achando estranho.
Você tá achando estranho? Eu achei que você já tinha até acostumado.
Filhota, tô acostumado todo dia com você me atormentando, falando: Papito, vamos fazer tal coisa. Papito, vamos jogar tal coisa. Sempre inventando alguma coisa pra mim. Ô, Papito, vamos fazer tal coisa hoje. Só faltar um dia aparecer comigo aqui e falar assim: Papito, vamos assistir dorama.
Eu já fiz isso.
Eu sei que já.
Literalmente fez. É.
Eu sei que já. Mas assim, de assistir completinho, bonitinho. Papito, vamos assistir um doraminha hoje. Vamos fazer uma saga de maratona.
Eu não faço isso nem com o Hazak. Não tenho paciência.
Graças a Deus. Que a gente não vai perder a vida.
Eu não entendi a frase, mas ok.
Não! Filo pegou um anime que é o Agente 86. É muito bom. Eu gostei do anime. Só que ele... Ô, Brady, vamos assistir todas hoje. Ou vamos assistir mais 2 episódiozinhos. Ou vamos assistir mais 2 episódiozinhos. Não parava, viado. Nossa! Não é comigo de roxar, mano. É, tá. Já tá pescando, não repara nas coisas também. Ah, vem tormentar eu. Ai, pai! Aconteceu tal coisa. Aí tem como arrumar? Tem. Vai ter que fazer tal coisa. Fazer tal coisa. Passar uma fita do Rex ali.
Ah, sobrou até pro careca nesse dia aí.
Sério?
Não sei de nada, não ouvi isso.
Ainda bem que o careca é um bom menino.
Finjo que não sei de nada, não ouvi nada.
Tá vendo, filho? Até ele paga de anjinho. É um puro capeta.
Não. Isso não acontece.
Ele paga de anjinho porque ele toma Red Bull, tá ligado? Porque dá asa.
Meu Deus.
Patrocínio veio forte.
Fortíssimo.
A próxima partida é a Bayern.
Nossa, os caras vão Biden.
Uhum.
Interessante.
Pro DG, eu acho que vai ser ruim. Pra ele vai ser vantagem ficar lá na A, né?
Uhum.
Só que pro Superman e o Ban pra eles é vantagem, porque é um time, eles gostam muito de Phantom. E mapa pequeno assim é muito bom.
Being able to recall it if nothing is there, or even if it was used, it's only a 45-second cooldown, and he used it almost every single time on that A post plant, making it so much harder for them to retake because they can't throw utility. They really just have to rely on a neon wall, maybe a blind, and it was just really hard for them to retake back into that.
Also, did you guys see Cry screaming?
You guys, I've never seen that. I swear, I've never. We literally in the pre-show we talked about how he's so chill, so passive.
Quiet.
This was different.
Yeah, it actually blew her mind when it happened.
I couldn't believe it. I'm
Like,
so
she
serious.
was shocked.
I thought something happened in the game. You were calling for something. It's like, oh, that must have been a sick moment. Like, actually in game, it's like, no, Cryo was yelling.
That
I'm like,
never happened.
oh. Well, honestly, if I played like that, I'd be yelling my guts out as well. Like, that was an incredible performance. Of course, EG had to play around that, and then they just, in the second half, started to kind of avoid that veto. I think, like, they really tried coming in aggressive early on, and that was punished.
Yeah, no, especially in that first half, because we did see EG trying to push up, trying to go for those first picks, being a little bit more proactive. But they were getting shut down until we saw this amazing op round coming in from DJs and just getting a 4K to kind of start getting those rounds on their side. And then moving on to the
os
second
4K
half,
do meia que ele fez foi bonito.
With having a veto, it's not like running a killjoy. There's not a whole lot you have to default and kind of break in order to open up the map. EG took advantage of that, and even when they went towards that veto, which they didn't a lot of the time, they tried to avoid it because it is hard to exec into, especially if you can't use your utility. But when they did, they actually managed to waste a lot of his utility. I was very surprised.
Yeah, they were able to get a lot of space on that attack side, and you also had a lot of those hero plays that played it out. I mean, Val with this clutch, for example, was incredible. You have another play by Superman where he's able to exploit a little bit of that gap that defense had in Garage. Then you see an immediate correction for 100 Thieves, and then you see their game plan finally on the defense be able to execute it, but it really came down to the wire.
It really did. I think it was round 10 when the tide started to shift, right? That's when EG started to heat up, and it was all on the back of DJs up. Like, he went in aggressive, it was DJs go in and kill, and that kind of opened up things.
Yeah, I think he really earned the flowers that you gave him earlier, truly. And then even on the second half, we still saw him getting so much
uma partida
momentum and getting
perdida,
so
o bichinho
much space. It was just really insane how
245 de
quickly
AKD e de kill 1.5. 1.4 na verdade.
He is such a
É bem alto, uma partida é uma morte por rodada.
On the verge of being eliminated.
Pelo menos o B ele fazia, né?
You're relying on DG, and as they did in the first half to get those last two rounds, as they
Sim.
did going into that second half when they
Eu
started.
já tá nesse nível de, pelo menos, a rodada minha, o meu eu levava.
It's going to be a 100 Thieves map pick here, right? And we talked about it.
Será?
Which feels ages.
Uma hora chega, mano.
But we talked about how this map pool is definitely going to make
Na hora que chegar, eu vou estar no ouro, vou estar no platino.
Already, so you can also argue there's a lot of tape of them. But each time, like, they looked really good in it. I think they're 2-1.
Yeah, and
Aí
now
eu
it's
tá
a
platina.
we're not going to probably be seeing a veto here. Very sad, very unfortunate. But we will be seeing the chamber. Yes, the chamber and the waylay. You like the chamber?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not, right? It's cryo chamber. But no, you'll be seeing the waylay and the chamber, which is a whole new battle of itself.
Which is something that didn't happen, and something that was what NRG was able to punish, the fact that Timotino was not on this waylay. So now going back to the waylay, going back to a map that 100 Thieves is comfortable with, it's a little scary for the other side.
Yeah, we know what to expect from 100 Thieves heading on to a bind. Let's hear what Coach Potter has to say ahead of map 2.
Hey guys, here with Coach Potter here. Tough loss in that game, but you guys did manage to almost come back, make that dub a reality. What were some of the bright spots that you were seeing in that game? Because there were a couple, like Digizin just taking space freely and being aggressive as we know him to be. What were some of those bright spots, and what are you hoping to see in match 2?
For sure. Surprisingly, the bright spots came in the first half. I know we were getting bullied, it seemed that way, but we had all the info, we had all the right moves, we just weren't proactive enough and decisive when we had that info. So going into the
Mano, sabe como eu imagino você, cara?
So I think, being able to come back in that second half, it definitely
Caralho.
So we need to stop being so timid going into map 2.
Any players you're looking at to really turn up the heat here?
It's got to be the Black Jesus Douglas. I mean, he's been carrying us. He's been being very vocal and just becoming just a confident player that I know he can be. So I'm looking at Douglas.
All right, let's see if he can take us to the promised land. All right, back to you guys.
Jeebus takes the wheel or the op. I don't know. Whatever gets him the victory for this one. Yeah, but we just talked about what we expect to see from On the Thieves. EG side, what do you want to see, agent-wise?
Agent-wise, I wouldn't mind seeing a waylay head-to-head. I think on a map like Bind, where there's so many small parts where that interceptor could... Not interceptor. Sorry, I really like Veto, if you couldn't tell. But that stun coming in from waylay, it's just too light.
And we saw EG play this map against Envy. Digizin was actually on this waylay. They were playing that double dual lids with Oki on the Euro that we've seen pretty recently.
Hello.
But I still feel like Domina has the upper hand on this age.
But that Waylay matchup will be so juicy.
Alô,
I'm excited to
oi.
see what both of these
Alô,
teams
alô,
have in
alô, alô.
store for us. Mimi and Ender will be
O velho
back with
caiu?
part 2 after a short break.
E eu não? Pronto.
Chat, não me assuste, chat. Ué, mas nós estamos ao vivo?
Ué, o Discord morreu?
Pelo jeito sim. Alô? Tá me ouvindo?
Well, after EG's fakest of all fake comebacks back on map number 1, we're geared up for a pretty interesting bind. Both teams that have played this map had different ideas.
Alô, alô, chat. Tá me ouvindo?
Melee versus double duelist, and we're gonna have a moment here jumping in the agent selects. These can get geared up because Mimi, this match, Evil Geniuses lose it, their kickoff is over.
Yeah, and that is a tough pill to swallow. It's been a rough few years for this organization where it's always slow starts, unsuccessful kickoffs, into just barely turning around for stage 2, almost making playoffs, and then falling flat again. It's a real opportunity for them to try and make that a different story, prove why this seemingly
5K de
so
ping?
strong roster they put together.
Mas é aqui no Discord ou na porra do...
Really impressive.
Yeah, especially because 100 Thieves find themselves in the same situation as EG here, down in the lower bracket where elimination means tournament ends. Their journey has been a little bit different.
Yeah.
They had really close losses to G2 and NRG, who people are rating really highly,
Who are
as
literally
they should.
the reigning America's champ and the reigning world champion right now, and are still in great form.
Exactly. So a lot of people are expecting 100 Thieves to kind of be the favorite, I think, in this lower bracket run, at least until we see more teams trickle down out of what we've actually got. But Evil Geniuses were within touching distance of taking map 1.
Alô, mano, tá me ouvindo?
I think, though, that it has to start earlier. You heard Potter really trying to push the
Alô.
team to be more confident, to not be so timid starting this game. And I think guys I'm looking to for that is number 1, Digison. He had such a turnaround in that second half. He was
Tô vendo você no Discord, mas não tô ouvindo você.
he has been
É,
the bright spot.
voltou agora.
Ah,
49
voltou.
agora.
Dark year for EG.
Yeah, especially
Que
get
susto.
that
Nossa,
man operator in
tava
his hand, he's gonna
5.000 de
be
ping,
tearing
tá?
it up. Another thing Potter
Jesus.
was talking about was, of course, being a little bit more decisive in their mid-round action. Which
Ô, que pena que ontem o nosso bigode não ganhou, hein?
Que pena, que pena.
Nossa, ele jogou muito bem, mano, mas não deu pra ele. O bigode tava com... Tava triste.
And even while it was successful for EG on their own attack half, I still think we saw them fall into a lot of these 4-1s without
O bigode foi jogar nas últimas partidas. Na primeira ele jogou super bem, daí na segunda ele morreu.
Nossa, aí não pode.
Mas o problema não era só ele, não. No time lá do jogo de ontem, do Sentinels lá, literalmente...
Massacrou. Literalmente, né?
Deitou e rolou em cima do bigode. Nossa, nosso cortesia só ficou no cheiro do bigode dele, só.
Só no cheirinho, né?
Só no cheirinho, só. Vamos ganhar, não ganhou nunca.
Não vamos.
Fiquei com dó dele, fiquei com dó dele. Bind, vamos lá. Biden escolheram Winston, Fade, Yoro, Superman e tal.
Cara, vai ter um...
refract out of there immediately and just get the saturate down. I think we've seen a lot of players who
when he uses his abilities, he picks the right way to use them.
Correct, exactly. And I think some of the players who have picked up Waylay,
Cara, vai ser bom.
she's meta, but
Vai ser bom.
the best Waylay players will almost
A minha dúvida maior vai ser o...
saturate pullback every round and let their teammates scale.
É...
Nossa, Chamber.
Vai ser interessante. Crio vai ganhar, velho.
Because they don't play double duelists, they don't have a Yoru with him.
O milagre o Asuna não tá jogando de Sage, né?
Eu acho que ele não vai de Odyssey, Diego. Não, não agora.
Porque já tem um Chaos também, né?
Sky. Going to be a big problem for EG to defuse.
Got some support here out in the crowd. Well, Genius is still looking loose up on the stage, all things considered. Having a whole lot of fun there, even
Do you want to see them less happy?
No, I love the joy that I'm seeing on their faces.
I just didn't know what direction you were going with that. I want to make sure.
Zoom in. There, what do we got? I can't read.
I think it says pizza at the top.
Kind of pizza.
Maybe it says pretzel.
Ah, ele tava pedindo uma pizza de provolone com bastante mussarela junto em cima.
Yeah, that's for sure what it is. That's
Aí do outro, a meia pizza é um frango com catupiry e bacon.
Será?
Eu que queria uma pizza.
Até eu queria, até eu.
Home turf here on Bind. That has always been their comfort as an organization.
Ô chat, você não quer juntar aí 10 contas aí, cada um aí, eu compro uma pizza aqui, não?
Quanto que é a pizza aí?
Que?
Curiosidade agora.
35.
Quanto?
35.
35 a pizza?
Aham.
Meu Deus.
É, chat.
Caramba, que choque, porque eu lembro de que lugar que eu pedi a pizza. Há 11 anos atrás, uma pizza era 50 pila.
Ah não, se eu for pedir na pizzaria que eu realmente amo, é 90 pila. 90? Não, 110 conto.
Pronto, é algo assim que eu espero, considerando que faz 11 anos.
Só que, aí é que tá. Essa que eu peço, ela faz uma massa bem fininha, parecendo aquelas massas de pão pita, que é aqueles pão árabe, parecendo a massa fininha, e eles botam bastante recheio. Literalmente muito recheio.
Era parecido, a minha usava como se fosse massa de pastel. Era bem crocante. A massa.
Agora, onde eu realmente gosto de comer e tudo mais, pago por 110 conto, aí a massa ela é feita no dia. A massa é feita no dia. Eu sei disso. Os ingredientes são da semana mesmo. O bagulho fica caro porque é tudo ingrediente novo. Eles garantem que é ingrediente novo. E daí por causa disso que ele fica caro.
Such a well-tempered round there for 100 Thieves. See each step of the checklist in play. Get cryo posted, and then you hard commit to the B stack. Don't waver from that. Instead, simply play retake. And with that control toward showers, EG felt like they had to aggress someone. That's why you see Okeanos swinging out backside.
Beautiful, man.
Supported by anyone else, just falls alone, and him gone, 100 Thieves. Simply crunching in a pistol. Mirroring the start of map 1.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of these walks from a guy like Cryo to get that deep information line. Out of Timino as well. Time just on his own with a Bucky, but have some ideas for set aggro.
Meu Deus, olha o quanto de banheiro tem.
Cryo up the jump, and
banheiro?
he's a bit timid here, wanting to donate over an outlaw.
Olha. Chat, tinha 3 aqui, ó, no meio do corredor do banheiro. 200?
Sorry, I take it back. No, I said it was a scouting mission. No.
Well, it was, but he also had a shotgun that he brought along. He's gonna go for more.
That was just assassination.
And meanwhile,
by the way, yeah, Cryo's outside showers while you were distracted by the guy that was jumping over and around you.
Oh, also a report from the Western Front. You've been fully encircled, and 100 Thieves have pushed through the flank.
Oh my god, just being closed in on by every single angle. That was devastating.
Yikes. It's pretty much all I have to say to that one.
I'd be shell-shocked.
Yeah.
Caralho, tão indo
Alright, so now
buscar a
comes our
DG,
for
mano.
EG.
Vamos
Last two
buscar, mano.
rounds, they've shown us 4
Aí não
1s
pode perder o bônus, mano.
and then hit back in. And already, just watching that pistol round, where they found the chamber, lost a player to it, then hit back in. I want to see if they're going to give us more aggression in the mid round. It's going to be walking around like the slow 4-1 style that they had last time on Bind.
Right over showers again, this time.
DG já começou como?
Was
Eu
hit,
pique.
though. And via the outlaw.
That was risky though. He was completely alone, just challenging Cryo.
But I think this is how the matchup is going to evolve, because usually when you see this double duel, Yoru's going to do a lot of early fighting on his own with the ability to teleport back to his team. And Amber wants to do kind of the same thing. So that 1v1, if Cryo and Digizin keep sort of ego battling over showers, is something we're going to continue to track.
EG have picked right in this late round, understanding that 100 Thieves are likely to re-clear where they lost their chamber. And if waited too long, rotates coming back towards B now.
Sei se eu me arrisco e jogo.
O quê?
Or it can accomplish inside of Hookah.
Se você arriscar um LOLzinho, eu aprovo.
That's going to be tough to get anything done here, Bucky in hand.
Se você for jogar um LOLzinho no celular, eu aprovo.
Very controlled. It's a smoke on site. They don't even want to step forward into
Talvez vai jogar LOL no celular. Nunca pensei que o Veio ia falar isso.
Não, já lá no celular, aliás.
Super and Bao though, the guys you want alive in a post plant.
Quero jogar LOL.
Crossfire towards long.
Make bite to work. Sent out. Nice spam. Thieves pulled away from the spike. Timotino still charging in. And now rips the ultimate. It misses.
Nossa, morreu.
Out of the sky. Dupa taken down.
Que pancada.
Bonus for 100 Thieves.
No Bucky has done more in this video game in maybe 2 or 3 years.
That was gross. Back-to-back rounds.
Yes, on the ante, going again with
In the
rifles.
video game.
EG are just so slow. The rotates come in. Tino jumping out of the smoke, whipping the ultimate here to buy time for his teammate to half.
Mas pegou no ar, velho.
Superman is not like that. Believe me, he is not like that.
I'd be mad too.
Parece otário.
Did hit him on the ulti. Had to get the headshot on
A lenda, pô, a
but
lenda.
still it wasn't enough to win the round. Now EG on the broken buy. Already the tip of the spear taken low as well.
Nothing going here for EG. 100 Thieves this time leave their waylay over with the chamber on the A side of the map and have all of their stall characters together. It's Tino. Okay.
Meu Deus.
He's just playing with them.
Again, that felt like it was supposed to be the scouting mission play where you teleport in and then slide back.
No.
No way, mano. Pegou 2 nesse corredor, velho.
I don't like that.
Sim, pegou. O cara cagou demais, hein?
So now this just feels like the first half of Haven again.
Yeah. Guys, the spike. Oh dear.
That's the one he loses? Okay.
Nossa, pegou DG.
Timotino picks up the
Já
mantle
era.
for another 2 kills. That outlaw got 4 kills.
And that's also, Chrissy, 3 rounds in a row where Timotino has gotten a refract refresh. I feel like it's pretty rare you see that with Waylay.
I mean, Tino is currently averaging more than 2 kills a round.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
This was gross. Don't show this.
I love how he stuck the orb as well.
Yeah.
Like he actually got that too.
He was like, I'm probably gonna die. Let me get the alt orb. And then just casually kills both of them anyways.
Wild stuff.
I no-scope Kong from right here.
Just the chuckle. Here we go again, another showers fight.
Oh wow, this time it's heavy though, and Digizin didn't even have his gun out.
Digizin tá com uma má
100
sorte.
Thieves had changed the pattern. It's not a chamber
Sim.
over here with an op. No. Fight. That's now a dimensional drift out of the round.
That trip was spotted by Superman. should mean that he's soon to realize that 100 Thieves are likely to stack back into A with that information. Call his teammates over.
Still so awkward. Giannis is stuck in showers. Not like he can get back over to B quickly. So
do they want to fake B, pull the rotates, try and call back into him with the fade
That's what I was
ult?
going to say. Break the teleport, or break the trip, and call the teleport in. Timatino getting wild with it. Spots those two players as Okeanos takes that timing, get his pick on A. That draws back some members as the shot goes wide. And that one kill on the waylay on A kept 100 Thieves over there. There was a timing if he up on B. Instead, they've actually missed that window, and they're away at the rest of the clock.
Sometimes you just have to go. And now they've missed the window. If they
When are they going? It's 20 seconds left here. Still 2 players holding. Bang. Puts down the poison. Okeanos from above.
The molly.
Bang just needs to kill the planter, but he can't hear the plant going down. It's too late. He didn't know. EG still in this round. As Bang inside of sight stays alive. And taken out. Evil geniuses in the nick of time.
But still, I really question some of the decisiveness in these rounds for EG. On both maps, attack side, they have consistently
Superman tem a cara de japonês velho.
froze for too long and let their
Será?
opponent reset into a neutral position where they can quickly retake either site.
And they lose this round if Bang can just hear things.
Yes.
Because that's an easy spam kill
Or,
on the
by
planter.
the way, if that molly is like an inch closer, because the plant also gets denied that way.
Yeah. Yet a lifeline for them. Sure, they win the round. They have they please. Playing a very spread approach on the map. You always see when you have the heavy hitter ults. And Soki's pushed him into the corner. Bides his time to bait for Val. A beauty.
But in that, 100 Thieves have gotten 2 kills back. Timatino creeping into the corner.
Oh, what an off angle. That is nice. The hindrance to it's clinical. It just looks a little bit easier. The waylay's in his hands. Another round where it isn't going to come into play. He may be, but touches in, even getting battered and bruised. Now teleports back into spawn. Just play this round again from the beginning, guys.
Definitely for him. Cryo. Here on A.
Actually, been lucky that that teleport didn't go into showers. I would have spotted it.
Trademark here. EG has to break it.
Cryo in.
No way.
I'm so impressed with Timatino. Just continually from his play here. That refight into long. Picks a perfect off angle. Has the refract off. And I think other waylays you would have seen them saturate, try and dash in and make a play. He's patient. After getting this first pick, does he immediately saturate, isolate the second player before going back in?
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
High pressure situations. More than most other waylays, he consistently makes the right choice with his utility.
Got 100 Thieves back into a round that they were losing after the initial fight down long. Geniuses saw that success, want to trial it out once more, this time just with 2 guns in the fold.
Already, there are so many rounds where Okeanos has used his refract very early and he doesn't have it for exit.
Ready to challenge here if EG were to stick around. Now that's second in not even 7 rounds.
Cryo on a new off angle towards A. Posted top truck.
Yep.
Ready for Supa.
Back to Supa.
Not it's the forward posting he's been going for consistently, or now anti-eco protocols playing a little bit deeper. Still suffocating on the A side of the map for any.
EG is contacting so much in these rounds. Try and make it happen again and walk up towards Viva. Bang making a play.
Bang right up in the middle of everything. Gets his and falls away. Never one to be greedy. Never one to bite off more than he can chew. And I think they just lose on time. I'm not gonna lie. Finally, smokes come in. It's just brutal. It's just brutal. 100 Thieves again, rinsing EG at the start of a map.
The story of this series for me has been the difference in initiative between these two teams. For 100 Thieves, anytime they see an opportunity, a fight to reclear, a moment to make that individual play, bang bang, jumping into hookah here. In the last round, Timotino fighting for long. They make it, they succeed at it. Contrast that to an EG who is so passive, so unwilling to make those proactive plays, to take that risk. I think it's really punishing them.
And it's coming because they're playing so slow and they're playing so much of the map. And especially when you play against a chamber team.
Ela tá... ela vai pedir um tofu e falar que todo mundo tem que comer... Que coreano come, velho? Agora eu fiquei na curiosidade. Onigiri eles comem? Não, né? Bolinha de arroz? Talvez coma, mas não sei, já. Aí ela tá pedindo sushis lá que... De caranguejo.
Because they're playing slow, spread out early starts rounds, and then they find themselves in the blink of an eye in like a 3-on-3 where it just doesn't make sense.
And they're playing a Waylay comp. Count for me the number of rounds where we've actually seen Okeanos refract, double dash, set up for either a saturator or coming into sight. Almost never.
Whereas on the other side, Timothy has used 2 ultimates in 7 rounds.
He's 12-4.
Yeah, and when you're frying like that, this looks too simple for 100 Thieves to stuff these 8-round execs with 20 seconds or less on the clock.
Potter said she wanted more proactivity. Show it to me this round.
Gotta come here and it
Nossa, os caras
Meu Deus do céu.
Bang falls out. Maybe he loses the pit, maybe he
Tommy.
doesn't. Yet Cryo has been dealt with. And that dimensional drift has gone nowhere? It's a double teleport. This is madness. A dash
Meu Deus do céu.
over. Evil geniuses are getting their kills everywhere because
No.
has now pinpointed Timotino. I don't know what the hell just happened this round, but it worked. I'll give him that.
It felt like a disaster in every distinct moment, but works out for EG. I think you're right to call out Digizin. He was the man who, amid the chaos, was patient, found his mark, opened up A.
Foi por onde eles estão rotacionando.
For his team, Asuna backs away.
Nossa, eu acho.
Love to see that. Again, in a little bit more detail, how that fight went down, because we were so distracted by the combo piece of the double dash in into saturate and a brim ult on the enemy.
Isso é difícil, passou.
Pegar os patas.
I think scouting on the other side. Left behind while all the chaos came in.
Ele tem uma Wanda. Vai se invocar.
It was in rounds like that where it got.
Vai ser complicado por causa do.
Thieves in the first map found a lot more success. Like in the second half when they started winning some rounds, I thought it was because of like very fast execs that turned into brawls all over.
Yeah.
This time, EG just kind of won every single one of their duels. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, let's see. This is that initial kill onto Cryo as he tried to walk up off contact.
Yeah, and Digizin was baiting, or not baiting, but he was
Não entendi,
over
mas...
in showers while his team was making a lot of noise and baiting for him.
Let's go. Peace, bro.
Please, bro. Please, bro.
Very respectful.
Parece eu falando inglês.
Okay.
Attack side off.
I mean, I love that.
Inglês jamaicano.
Been facing up showers so often.
Please, bro.
Just gotta win the fight, though.
Wanted to look at these two players. Digizin has consistently been the star for EG. This time, both ops bringing a supporting cast. Cryo gets a little bit antsy. Just to keep up the line.
100 Thieves have almost always re-exec elsewhere when they lose space. This time, just a flash to confirm there's still a lurker towards B.
after seconds, know where the sky is. Chamber's hanging out over today.
What they don't know is what's happening towards short. Cryo is reposted. There's a player tucked for them. Being pressure towards B, but they're going back into this lurk.
Always going back A. And this is brutal because Cryo on the line with the operator is going to draw all the attention away to Matino in the corner.
Aí tá travado.
Possible way to break this. Just in coming out from showers, but with an operator, he's not going to do that. And right in front of the wall, this sets up perfectly. Timotino dealt with. Bao was waiting. And Bao will recover the spike. Blitz onto the site. Mayhem unfolds with Dujazin and Okeanos dismantling 100 Thieves. This one's wraps.
That could have been a nightmare for EG. A player tucked in the corner. But so thorough from Bao to clear him out.
And that was the decisiveness I wanted to see.
Nossa, pegou já.
Bao not wasting any time, sees the spike, not slowing down when there's a brimstone ult come down right in his face. With that narrow timing, he had to get in front of in order to play out that round.
There they took the initiative. And the game plan as a whole, I think, was good. Go for the fight in this op head-to-head. Push Cryo off the line.
Oh, that's a sweet play.
Yeah, great positioning from Oki. Dashing up top.
Oh, okay, bro. You know I'm clearing that for you, bro.
Only happens because Bao saved his teammate's life in short.
Yep. 6 is still a possibility. Ditches in. Lee started the last round.
Except for 100 Thieves. Goes back to B. Masked behind the sky short.
That trip over. Idea happened, but it's all about lodging Digits in on the high line. I'm going to stick around and try and pluck away players rotating off from B instead, back to A.
This kind of becomes reminiscent of the pistol round, where 100 Thieves stack towards B, feel comfortable playing retake A as long as they hold on to showers.
So the calm has found the weak side of the map, at least for the time being. Already Vora moving back from spawn towards A. 100 Thieves are going to have bodies ready to intercept this. Okeanos has no support behind him. That's a Molly slowing his team down. He's hit. He can't.
Quase não mata.
The rest of EG up through short. Now dealt with as Supa collects on 2. Evil Geniuses still have a way in, but the spike is pinched back in showers. There's an operator on the line. Now it isn't. Evil Geniuses again have come through clutch on this A site.
There we go, EG. Another round and another moment where they are willing to take the initiative, to make the play at the moment it needed to happen. Spot a player towards showers with no way out. Rip the waylay up. Send it. Same time, players scaling faster short. And some great individual shots from Supa and from DG. Pop this one up.
Sometimes hard to appreciate how impressive these fights are and the timings, swing and cover your teammates back when you're going down these like split lanes on bind where it's like there's a crazy fight going on in showers that 2 players are trying to coordinate while 3 players on short are also trying to get up, trying to help them out. I think both Supa and Digits in really effective in their ability to sort of swing back into a line after they'd heard some engagement going down in showers, cover their teammates.
And looking at this timeout now for 100 Thieves, I think one of the big keys is figuring out how they can get Cryo back in the fight. These last few rounds, EG have had great plans of how to find his location and either full avoid it as they did in that previous round, or show great kill patterns to push him off and punish him before he can become a problem. It was his off, solo holding sites, getting kills in the late rounds, the big reasons they were losing in the first quarter of this game.
I wonder if the idea could just be more immediate aggression or space taken. 100 Thieves have done a lot of like trap setups, these 1-2 ideas in showers, down on B long as well. It'd actually be a similar idea with the full members hanging out, locking away hookah. That's been an area that Evil Geniuses have taken some liberties in the last couple of rounds.
So EG again, go exploratory towards B. Much more passive position from Cryo, set up in showers. Wanting to take this off duel early.
challenge him. Stopped him making the massive walkdown that we saw a few times early on in the half, and you're actually respecting it. Had so much of that even this.
This puts him in the position now where he could be on a passive line like this, or if reposted somewhere. Very thorough in the util you use and how you clear out this chamber.
This is going to have options. Back into. Going to be looking at timings on these players rotating from hookah. Unless they go for a quick flank, as it appears they will. Just in. Just missed the. Their back is safe. It isn't. Supa somehow still alive, but now the op is back onto the line. EG high rolling in this round.
Ficou preso no corredor, agora não pode nem sair de lá, viado.
We are in the back of sight. What is going on? We're down to 12 seconds again. EG once more late into the round. What can Cryo do? He doesn't see a thing. The spam is too late, and it's traded too. Madness now as the pit envelops the site. Cryo once again into the thick of it. Walls fall down. Now spotted. It's a little bit delayed. It's already a sink. The molly's wide. It's a mess. Bow back onto the line. Takes care of matters himself. Already to half. Has to take this fight, but Bow is just better. Evil geniuses continue to build round after round, and Calm is letting them know.
The timings that round was defined on, though, were razor thin. I think Asuna was maybe like 5 degrees of rotation. This spam, an inch from connecting in time.
Not to mention the fight down long B as well.
Yes. The molly missing so many things that could have swung this round one way or another. Potter flabbergasted after that one.
Just like she drew it up.
Yep.
Okay, well, if you wanted a moment to breathe, think again to Jazin. Boosts up on the deep wall, sees over the smoke, and it's speedy out of EG. Blitzing on down B long, Asuna. The last man left. Tries to build a little fortress for himself. Asuna.
Ficou cego, tem nossa mãe. Caralho, ele ainda conseguiu surgir no janelão ainda, cara.
A Yoro correndo atrás. Marcou. Quase leva os dois.
You thought it was hungry thieves in the trenches? No. Evil geniuses completely lost.
Meu Deus do céu.
As 100 Thieves close and take the lead at this half.
What an entertaining end to this game. Each way too slow to begin, but they take their initiative, find their way back in, only for a final round being stolen away.
Playing on the slimmest of margins there too for the opener.
And this is just rough for EG. 3 different players ping-ponging them from different angles. It's a competitive half, though. A very different story from map 1. Find out if EG stays alive or if 100 Thieves end it. This.
We've got 2 esports endemic brands coming together to create a series of products for esports for the biggest stage.
퍼포먼스랑 컴페티션이 주요 키워드다 보니까 레이싱이라는 테마를 잡고 거기서 이제 영감받은 그래픽 요소들이나 다이나믹하고 날렵한 그런 실루엣 같은 것들을 저희 FS1 마우스에 적용을 해봤고요.
希望可以协助 POSA 成电竞圈的尖品 ，Foxy 是其中一助力。
E o cop vem longe, forte, eu distraído embaixo por cima. Ai, ai. 7-5, Under Thieves, DG ainda tá no páreo. O problema é que a próxima partida vai ser interessante. Cloud9, pá.
Vai.
Eu sei que a Cloud9 vai ganhar, acho que vai. Aí é que tá. Ela vai ganhar de quantos a 0 nessa partida?
Mais de 8.000.
Seria engraçado se ganhasse de 8.000, tá? Se eles fizessem 8.000. Fiquei curioso agora. Se eu fosse somar 8.000 em kills, quanto daria em partida?
Um monte.
Tá, 7 é dividido por 24, 40, mais 52 dividido por 8.000. Foi mal, chat, a gente sendo nerdola aí de 8.000 dividido por 54 partidas. Se fosse todas elas 24/7, né?
Uhum.
Nossa, 150 kills.
Pouco, né?
150 kills dividido por 5. Nossa, todo mundo tinha que fazer no mínimo 30k, 30 kills. Impossível.
Qualquer coisa.
Impossível. Já começou a partida de novo, chat. Eles literalmente estão aqui no ar.
Send Timotino into the sights because a bit less common to see a Sky backing up a Waylay. Sky is many years.
Sure.
Nerfs came in, but not a whole lot of teams are still running it these days.
O outro lado não tem um chamber, né? Pra defender a janela ali ou alguma coisa pra defender ali, né?
Either be dashing in kind of safe
Não.
position where he can tuck and then fight out, or he's playing much closer to and dashing much later as his team is already scaling through and only then using the saturate. A lot less of those straight up double dash.
Se os caras matar 2 aí, tá, é tchau, tá?
Double duelist teams like what
Because your
he's running.
teammates can't actually catch up to you with just the one duelist.
Normally you'd have like a Yoru or something who could TP in and have very good spacing. He has to be very in tune with if his teammates have gotten out of a choke.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure on the rookie, delivering those moments. Under Thieves have done well now to. Okay.
Good Molly.
Well.
Quase.
Anyone that wanted
Quase
to
leva
play
ação,
up
né?
there will not.
O Jean levou dele.
This is still scary. That Molly is going to buy a lot of time if each.
Nossa, ele vai fazer, né? Não. Ele tá esperando só apertar na Spike.
Geniuses were plagued by waiting way too long previously. Lucky for them, I think they should have the half stick.
Tá Smoke e a fumaça.
And yeah, there we go. All
The Molly
good.
missed.
Round win. You can understand why we're nervous though, right?
Yeah. No, literally, if that Molly hits, there's no full stack in time.
É, o Pix
It did.
demorou um pouquinho.
No, also roll that ends well.
Demorou.
Thank you. I don't know if they would love it themselves, but certainly it's happened quite a bit. Yeah, there you see that Molly popping.
Ah, ele tava em cima do caixote, viado.
Those brimstone mollies take forever to land.
Yeah.
Nossa, mataram. Você tinha conseguido sobreviver.
Foi justo na hora do TP, na hora.
Your EG, you crunch back. You don't give away a fight early. It's a great position to be in.
So what it comes
Ai.
to for 100 Thieves is playing the map, letting your solo players go. Great pressure points on the map. One few defender means way less information.
Segura.
That means
Segura
more
esse cara.
doubt. Evil G
Segura.
steps up. The huskers of his fallen comrade. Good for the one. Tom also just not anticipating that Cryo can be so far out of
na
shadows
mira.
either. 100 Thieves, even without the duelists, navigate nicely off of good shots.
Sopa mesmo.
Or rather, Okeanos getting caught off there was rough. There was a world where they could have won this bonus if
Talvez
they
não vão
cut
tentar
back and
pixel.
with the team dead.
Já tá
At the
marcando
end
lá,
of the
né?
day, Evil Geniuses, without rocking a Sentinel in their comp for permanent information, sometimes have to take those lines if you want to
For sure.
play with any knowledge of what's
Ai,
going on
200.
and 100 Thieves are going to bite you.
Bonito.
So 100 Thieves convert their bonus. Some big things
Gosto.
coming online. Teaches in with a great
Mousezinho
start.
rosa, ó.
Already gotten himself a dimensional drift. This fight was just great from him. Get the headshot onto Timatino. Actually just caught on that TP. See, I think gesturing that could have gotten
I
two.
could have had to, yeah.
Se ele tivesse dado um pulinho pro lado, eu acho que tinha sobrevivido, hein?
You also see who's going to activate when
Beleza,
rounds go
hein?
wrong for 100 Thieves, and that's Cryo. He gets a lot
O
of
problema,
agency.
é que a Sky tava lá e tava com. Tava com a Spectre, ele disparou que nem um maluco, então isso assim.
1-2 setup on Hookah.
O certo mesmo é ter tentado dar os dois tiros e não guardar um tiro, entendeu?
Oki had the option to commit into the stack on B instead, just took his teleport timing.
Porque o DG é isso assim, ele tinha a chance de invadir, dar os dois tiros e zarpar. Isso assustaria a Sky.
A bit of pressure towards B, but this hasn't drawn rotations. Oki.
Oh no!
He's
I think he
stuck.
saw a foot. Doesn't matter. Okeanos just lays him out.
Mas ele tinha dado 2 tiros.
All right.
Um
Não,
levou a bike e...
ele tinha dado os dois no... Ah, é verdade, ele tinha dado os dois no primeiro.
Não, ele matou o primeiro com um tiro e foi tentar pegar a Sky lá. Deu tiro na perna ainda. Aí foi a hora do TP.
É, então, literalmente, não tinha, ele teria que recuar, né? Eu pensei na hora que ele tinha literalmente pegado... atirado no primeiro errado e no segundo acertado.
Low on the clock. Dujin already farms 2 in the backline. What more can he do? Sent out on his
Ai.
own.
Nossa.
Just bait all the rest of his team.
2x2.
Behind, calm for 2. Gets the job done.
Nice.
And the 2-on-2-1 just like
Mas...
that. Calm standing up again. Just going through the emote wheel.
First one didn't get a reaction, so he goes to the next one, then the third.
Keep spamming him.
Thieves not playing that game.
The info that DG got here with this dimensional drift was huge.
Caralho, o DG pegou já tinha pegado a info de 2 lá atrás.
Nossa, tava os dois ali.
That's the game tied again.
Não tinha visto que eu tava ali.
Ele pegou a info bem aqui na entradinha do banheiro, no corredor, entendeu? Bem aqui no meu mapa, certo? Ele tava aqui, saiu correndo. Ah, não, ele tava aqui, pegou a TP, veio aqui, veio pelas costas e passou.
Geniuses run this little set piece, Nightfall into teleport, or a cotton open, but Oki doesn't hang around. Oh dear, out of showers, Cryo shuts it out. Okeanos survives a sliver of HP. Instantly back in, looking for this planter, takes him out.
Nossa.
Dying act.
PG wanna try too.
A bang do DG ajudou muito.
To end with Dujin stepping in. Now 100 Thieves backed away into lamps. Bang will fall.
Ele vai guardar. Não?
YGL left isolated versus 3 members.
Caralho! Ele ainda conseguiu dar o TP nas costas.
Não, ele tirou varado lá de trás.
É que eu vi o TPzinho dele ali, eu falei, ai.
Não, jogou o TP. Aí ficou mirada, quer ver? Tipo, tá na visão do DG, né?
Não tava na visão, tava no coisa.
Ali, ó. Só a cabecinha lá de fora. Só a pontinha da arma ainda atirou. Acertou varado.
Some real consistency on the lurks. I think he's gotten a lot of later round kills, but it's not often until that late round where he's actually getting postured forward into this space.
Nossa, todo mundo de ghosts de Phantom, quer dizer?
É.
Pegou info, deu TP.
Nossa, o Bal ficou como?
Nossa, que jogada, tá? Bal e o DGzinho jogaram demais, né?
Deu um salva de palmas para os dois. É só um só, chefe.
20 de vida. Cara, é foda. Nossa, eles vão tentar B agora.
É porque perderam duas? Nossa!
Acabou.
Oh my
god!
Ô DG, ô DG. Dá uma aula pra nós aí, DG.
From 100 Thieves. I mean, you got nothing left in the tank. Timotino's your guy. Ryo's the next one. 100 Thieves left without either.
The round's pretty much done. Unless EG give a pick away.
8 rounds in a row have Evil now had a player get 1 kill, taken down on 10 HP, and then still get another. It was Okeanos in the last round.
It's truly outrageous. So confident, so aggressive for EG.
And yet, the numbers, I'm not over. Back, buddies up into elbow. Give 100 Thieves the plant. Tough situation for 100 Thieves to navigate.
Nossa, o DG tá chegando.
Okeanos is just diving
O
in.
DG tá vindo de retake.
If the close corners being covered. Another scouting.
Lutou de novo. Nossa, quase.
Nossa, e ainda pegou um, ainda pegou a Sky. 200!
Evil geniuses have ignited this building.
Make no mistake, that round was DG's in from beginning to end. Straight up challenges into Cryo in a fight he's not favored.
Watch it again and
And he just goes straight to the other side and wrecks Timotino as well.
É isso mesmo, ele fez 3K, fez 3K.
Sim.
A little bit overused bolts, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I used all 3, and I don't think any of them really had
Jogou muito, pô. Tá com quantos kills? Tá com 24 kills já. O DGzinho tá sendo massacrador, porque Superman tá só de suporte nessa, literalmente. 8 kills ali, ó.
Ah, mas ele tá de Viper, pô. Aí é compreensível, pô.
I would not mind seeing them simplify a little bit and just try and show us a couple exec rounds. I think Timotino is really good when they can go for that stuff, and right now where so many of these rounds are going wrong is getting picked off early.
O que tá pegando mal ali é o Con, mano. O Con tá como iniciador e não...
Those are really
Não
effective.
tá muito bom pra...
I'm a little worried at their ability
Sim.
to find success running a quicker hit though.
Porque ele pega as inf e joga, só que ele não tá pegando info boa.
They've certainly been on point thus far this game. I think if they do go
Tá muito mais o DG fazendo a função de pegar info.
like you have to hold on to Shower's control. It makes it so much harder for A anchors to work when you lose that space and they're just trapped behind smokes.
That's on Showers. Ryan Timotino actually joining forces here to deal with the disadvantages here. The problem, they're fighting on their own. Really, two guys can take down the one.
The way layout. For Timotino.
Acho que é.
Vou pegar o ult só pra...
They could also cryo in Showers.
Viu? Vai segurar?
Ah, vai.
Problem.
All 5 players, one shot to this outlaw from DG's end.
Não voltou, né? Não, tá segurando. É louco.
Some pressure on his left ear, needs the support of his teammates so he can lock down this.
Pegou info.
One bullet left.
Porra.
Now he is fully lit up. Cryo gets the first 100 Thieves who made great work here, but keep your eyes on.
Nossa, o Gizinho tirou a mira na hora.
And now the shotgun doesn't do the job.
Nossa, errou o primeiro tiro.
Still a problem with
Não foi os 200.
2x2. É. Superman vs 2 eu acho que não vai não.
Now an ult in the post plant. Super.
É, tem um meia vida e 2 full. Ele é full ainda?
Cryo lurking in Showers. Exactly where he's coming from.
Acho que tomou.
Start to dwindle.
Já acharam que ele não viu?
Não, não viu. Tava longe, pô.
Mano, literalmente deu pra... Ah, eu acho que...
Não deu, não deu. O campo de visão é literalmente da um tá mais clarinho ali. O campo de visão é literalmente no cantinho que fica claro ali. Limite dele.
But now Showers will be more difficult to take. DG here with the operator.
And stepping out onto the wide line. All falls.
No!
Dog did spot him, I believe. Ready for it, doesn't matter.
VG pegou. Nossa, que cagada.
And he makes it through. Evil geniuses pulling off the impossible. 100 Thieves routed. Now stuck in this husk of an A site.
But they're fixed. Players in CT, players in Showers, they have to pick a fight and win it. Martina's alone.
Take matters into it. What can he give us? Absolute zilch. Bang and Asana now pushed back even further. They're ready for these fights, but again, evil geniuses are just dominating them in every single
Acho que o Dezinho não vai rushar.
Whether it's in the game or on the stage.
O DG tá com a operator, mas ele vai esperar.
Geniuses are backing up the talk.
Ai, do.
And take themselves to game point.
Such a great pinch from EG. And so many moments it looked so improbable there. Okeana's just barely dashing out of the Brimstone ultimate. Watch this again. The opener for DG.
Headshot too, come on.
Knew he was there. And then escaping this ultimate by hair, getting a pick. Only for DG to cause more problems.
Timmy, you bad boy.
Outrageous.
Foi literalmente irritar o time.
Okeanos has been talking since the get-go. And now fast play, straight on through that smoke. Io, though, gets the first kill. EG are still moving forward. This is a little bit loose. Having a little bit too much fun with it.
Nossa, esse daí os caras.
Now 5-on-3. Practically no info 400.
DG vai tentar levar um?
I was still alone.
He
heard that gun get grabbed.
That matters is that still alive.
Flank is coming. A trip will find it, but it's still containment.
Well,
rolou bom.
Have a minute left. They don't want to go into the up, and so they head straight towards Supa. Those shots got really bad.
Já sabem que estão virando pelo menos. Supa fez a boa já.
Giving 100 Thieves a path back into the A side.
É, mas o 2x5 aí. Não acredito. O Eli tá voltando. É, agora.
Já era.
A pick or two before the spike went down to stand a chance.
There's just no way into it for him.
Nossa, e não escutaram que era no outro.
For a full pinch.
Eles escutaram, vamos guardar, mano.
Holding towards
Tem operator nessa história, mano.
the map and getting that perfect headshot as the push came in.
And yet, for 100 Thieves, they're going to win this round.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we can't necessarily replicate that.
Eles vão caçar?
Não.
Vão.
Não nada, pô.
They're still trying to find
Time inteligente guarda a arma nessa zona, mano.
They wait for the spike to collapse on itself.
Meu DG seria maluco de entrar e apostar no.
This is the right read. That was going to be a B exact 400 Thieves.
X11?
400 Thieves now trailing by just 2.
Não, na verdade é 12.
Found themselves in back on
2x12.
He couldn't bring us the promised OT. If Cryo keeps shooting like that, 100 Thieves could.
That was another moment. The only way back in for EG was Supa finding something there. The timeout getting called from the side of Evil Geniuses. Fighter knows how important this is to close out. Op still in the hands of DGZin.
O Gzinho tá se concentrando. Ela tá falando que tem que botar molho show e cortar no meio o sushi. Falou que ainda se ganharem vão ganhar um bônus de 2 torresmos juntos. Caralho, vai ser bom, hein?
É bom, vai ser bom.
A coach tá indo falando que tem que botar no molho show. Dar aquela temperada ainda e esquecer o nigiri.
And when you're on map point, when you just need one round, that is exactly what you want to have out of your coach. Better believe that Evil Geniuses are going to have the initial idea, they're going to have multiple different answers to what 100 Thieves are going to show them in these first 10 seconds.
So now round 23 is really this battle between two
Cara, que eles vão tentar de novo pelo corredor da B.
Vamos fazer a mesma coisa.
Dessa vez, a Thieves vai pegar um full e um aqui. E dessa vez o DG vai ficar guardando.
Não, vamos tudo pelo...
Caralho, que smoke, viado. Que smoke, viado. Sobrou um...
I think 100 Thieves do. Had some kind of an idea, now using the Prowler. Operator seen just yet, or at all, as a matter of fact.
Já sabem que tá ali.
Pegaram, sabem que estão todos no TP. O DG tá esperando, ele tá tentando fechar a mira no máximo possível.
No clear way into the site. Shot doesn't connect. DGZin pushed back and with the high jump out.
Nossa, pegou varado o DG.
Sim.
Dominant for 2. A quick collapse out of Okeanos, instantly snapping back towards the A side.
Okeanos.
On B, this plant's coming down.
In elbow, isolated, is calm, and they're pushing him.
1 on 2. He waits and is taken clean out. Timatino on with 3 already. Evil Geniuses made plenty of noise. That's 4. Waiting for the ace, no chance now. The double swing to come through, and 100 Thieves will bring this to the limit.
Humongous round from 100 Thieves rookie duelist.
And you talk so much about the pressure on him as a sole duelist to find those openers. Brilliant work.
The approach was perfect, the patience. to wait out the smoke on long. Don't give DG that
Ô, Superman, dá pra baixar igual ontem, no finalzinho, igual o Bigode, dar aquela jogada boa pra acabar com essa partida?
As soon as he was dead, DG's job became so much harder. One more round.
Back to showers. Also means
P versus P. E agora tem o Ult. Nossa.
The pinch to come in. Okeano's trying to run away, barely makes it through. EG have divided themselves. Bao finds himself alone as the Seekers feel exactly where he's waiting.
Mano, a Smoke tá puro uso.
Okeano's back in. There's nothing else left in the tank. 100 Thieves still divided, but still dominant. Cryo lights up the kill feed for another, and we are heading to OT.
Supa's already made his noise, already made his position known. And Cryo, the man to
Nossa, pegou na ult.
This game had been defined by DG's in. He had been outrageous, had brought EG back 27 kills for him. But in the most important 2 rounds, it's
overtime.
Stepping up, bringing his team to overtime, winning this AWP battle.
Yep.
This was the game.
So many times in this match, we'd seen Tujisen on.
Não, você viu que do lado de lá deu pra ver que o coisa conseguiu ver antes do NRG.
100 Thieves advancing into overtime. Reminder that for evil geniuses.
Porque o coisa tava antes de chegar no meio, enquanto isso ele o coisa o DG tava literalmente tentando chegar avançado aqui já quase no meio do mapa.
It's Cryo again. Posts a forward trip and now falls back to a new angle.
Neither of our star offers have gone for the hero op. OT. Rifles and armor for now.
Deixa eu do ult.
Sky Flash just cleared towards B. 100 Thieves stack an extra player back into A as EG go and investigate that area.
Love to take their.
They don't leave an embed despite having showers control.
So rounds.
And 100 Thieves just re-cleared showers. They hear this prowler. Now they start to suspect a B finish.
Devastating for you. Ready? And a day. We're at exactly the right time. Honest has seconds left. They're quiet, and it's gonna come down to a gamble on the exit. Calm through the box. What is that? And yet Asuna still lights them up. Puts Soup in a 1-on-2. 20 seconds left. He's looking to fight forward, looking to try and find a kill. But there's nothing for him yet. It's given him less time to play with, less doubt as to his location. All he's thinking. Flank, back, his left, his front. The shots are there.
No!
Not the second again. Cryo comes up clutch.
Awesome.
And while EG improved their calling, had a much better attack side on this bind than the last. Here, old issues rear their head. They took showers control, but 100 Thieves picked the perfect timing to re-clear. Realize that this has to be a B finish and get the pivotal players in position. Despite all of that, this round...
Yo, did you see the shot I hit?
It just wouldn't have happened without Asuna. He hits that incredible 2K. Vora does the same. And now they're 1 away from closing out.
Geniuses, their backs against the wall. And so, seconds left. We're gonna rip the timeout. Bit of time to catch our breath here.
Second chance for Potter.
A EG vai perder mesmo assim.
She could not end the game there.
Tava ganhando bonitinho, velho.
She needed to win 1 round to just call the game over. Now she has to win this round to stay alive.
A much different position for the coach. EG Unlike the offer on the other side, he looks to be considering getting that weapon in his hands, seeing it as a win condition for EG.
I mean, I think that's valid to say. He was still actually very sharp with the rifles in this one, but now that Cryo started to heat up, especially without Cryo taking the gamble and going for the glass off himself, I think that you have to favor Jujuzin in those fights, in the 1v1 if he's going for the glass.
Yeah, he has really been on point this game. And this is a chance to show that round 24, losing that head-to-head against Cryo will not define this game, not define their kickoff. EG is a team that has had trouble closing. That's been their narrative for so long. It's been true this year as well. Gaps that should have been theirs already start to reflect on them slipping away, on the near misses as well.
Well, if you wanted a little bit more suspense here before we an ultimate round. Brief delay up there on the stage, so the teams a little bit more time to themselves geared up, head into what could be a tournament defining round for Evil Geniuses. Heading in here in just a moment now. Those players on Evil Genius side, new kids, players getting second chances, veterans with the org for a while. This is a big moment for them. A lot of teams make decisions in the break between.
Aí, agora vai, hein?
Staying alive here.
Virou o jogo.
DG.
DG já puxou.
EGZ wants to be the man.
Idea. Past regulation for.
I think 100 Thieves is suspicious. Low start. Arrived towards long.
Like this reposition. Have a hours. Well informed. Try to be.
So sticking around, he is walking forwards.
Patient can bang B.
A situação agora tá pegada. Nossa! O Kiano já levou um.
Now up in numbers with two players. Wait, Okeanos is sticking on the line? I thought he was running away. Was waiting for the wall to be drawn up.
O Kiano tá bloqueando muito lá no banheiro. Correu no meio. O rapaz vai deixar na mão do DGzinho.
Already put down the volley to delay. Quick teleports onto B. Calm and Supa. Ready to receive. We are down under 10 seconds. Supa holds the line.
Até que enfia o Supa.
Is there time? They have to get the spike. They can't actually get to plant the spike. There's no time. Bora can't play the round.
Boa, DG!
O cara desconectou?
Oi?
O cara desconectou no segundo ali? Foi impressão.
Não sei, porque eu acho que ele se perdeu.
Literalmente.
Ele só foi andando só.
Look at him, he's playing for stats.
Guys, you're playing to stay alive in the tournament. You got bigger fish to fry. Evil Geniuses giving themselves another chance here, and actually, Cryo's turn with the glass up, and he's going aggro. Finds Jujuzin.
Pegou o DG.
He had never played that angle before. Succeeds in overtime.
Always having new ideas. What? What?
Pegou mais um no corredor.
The Thieves. Quick toggle on.
Nossa. Pera.
Ai. CG in this. The op is reposted. Up into heaven. Geniuses still have plenty of time to work on.
But what they don't have is smokes. And this off angle means they cannot cross.
Oh, Asuna. Challenging.
Ela tentou varar ali pra ver se matava.
Thieves are waiting for the flank to activate. Aang has been moved back in. 2 members of EG. Distraction. Havoc on site. Here is Bang. This round is all 100 Thieves.
Vai ser pegado, vai ser pegado.
Então vai ser pegado.
Great work by 100 Thieves and really by Cryo. Not showing the operator in the first round of overtime and then taking a risk. So similar to what you saw from
Quem ganhar essa aqui ganha a próxima, dependendo, vamos falar assim. Porque se a 100 Thieves fizer agora, eles literalmente já ficam já são campeões e tudo mais, ficam animadão. Agora, se a EG ganhar, pai, ela literalmente vai empolgada para a última partida do set, e daí os caras estão ferrados.
This time on defense. Another element EG must consider.
Não foi a vez.
Not wasting any time.
Tentou.
Por um segundo pensei que tinha levado alguém.
Evil geniuses have no control over this A site. Already down a man. Now continues to challenge.
Pegou alguém ali.
Molly in the corner. Exchange.
No fundo ali, jogando
No smoke and mirrors in this round. Both teams know exactly where the other is. Question of how willing 100 Thieves will be to commit this spike to the ground. And Supa, now without a teammate backside, Supa lights them up. Sneaks away into lamps, and that's the spike out in the open.
Nossa.
Another? No way. Absolutely no way.
200.
I'm on the flank.
1 contra 2.
Your tournament calm, they have escaped.
Ele adiantou.
Ah, mano! Quase, velho! Mano, o DGzinho merecia ganhar essa, viado. Ele buscou todas, viado. Ele fez o impossível.
15-13 on Bind. An absolute slugfest between Cryo and Digizin. Ends with the Thieves making that one step forward to their chance at revenge. EG. Story continues. Always the team that is a round or 2 away.
DGzinho vai pra casa com a cabeça baixa. Vai fazer o que, né?
It's about 100 Thieves.
And you talk about the heroes of this match. You gotta talk about the clutchness in those last few rounds. Specifically, Matino on the entries at the end of regulation, Cryo stepping up and dominating in the op one-on-ones. So those Thieves definitely remain a force to be reckoned with here in the lower bracket, winning yet another incredibly close series.
For me, I'm looking at them as the team right now in the lower bracket to fear. I wonder how this EG game will change those expectations. I think a lot closer than people may have expected. Remember, map 1 10-2 to start, nearly slips away. Close out today, get the win. It's a tough road, qualifying through the lower bracket, having to run it all the way with no chances left.
They're gonna have a busy week next week.
A 100 Thieves ganhou pelo time, mano. Porque, literalmente, o time pode falar que jogou bem, jogou tal, mas pô, não apareceu tanto igual o DG, viado.
Não.
It started with a bonus round win, with a huge streak of rounds for 100 Thieves. For EG, you have to think ahead. What will they be when they return for stage 1? It's close enough.
Porque eles ganharam muito mais por um time, provar que é um time comunicativo. Ó, vamos fazer assim, vamos fazer tal. Se quer mudar, vamos mudar logo. Não espera muito.
It's gotten a couple different second chances here in VCT. He has been, I truly think, the star of EG through this run.
Certainly. So good in every one of their games. Brought plus 33 in the last one, even in the loss today. A kill off of a 30 bomb here on Bind. Been truly impressive from that Brazilian player. Looking again at 100 Thieves, I think we're really seeing not just these stars in Cryo and Team Matino continue to get formed, but also in terms of the way that they want to play, playing more solo duelist than anyone else, more veto than anyone else. They're defining their own style that has been so specific.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams had sort of their own style as well. Even coming into their very first match, Bao was one to pioneer the veto on the Americas stage, but ultimately we will be bidding adieu to Evil Geniuses for the time being. They'll be back in stage.
Knight versus Leviathan agora.
Performing this very close series. See if they can get over the
TCK!
Close but no cigar has been the story of the tournament so far for Evil Geniuses.
It really has, and really for EG as a whole, that has been what has gone after them. But for now, let's send it down to Golden Boy. He's got a very special guest on your stage. Bang for the Verizon post-match interview.
Much for that, Mimi and Ender. Yes, we got Bang from 100 Thieves, folks. Give it up for Bang if you don't mind. Put some pepper in those cheers. That's what's up, Bang. Congratulations, my man. Big win for you guys here, staying alive in this tournament. I spoke to Coach Doombros earlier, and I asked him if he felt like you guys are showing the most creativity in the VCT right now. And I think it's safe to say that you guys are. What is the difference there? What makes this 100 Thieves team so good right now that it allows you guys to be so creative in these big pivotal matches?
I feel like what makes us so creative is just we have so many players and coaches with different ideas, and like we just find ways.
Pra quem não sabe, é uma marca de carro de luxo da Toyota.
Basically, but I feel like every day in practice, everyone brings up something that's really important in server time. We bring it to the actual practice into scrims, and it works out. And honestly, it's a great feeling whenever something like that happens.
Who's leading that for you guys? Typically?
Honestly, that's like I said. I feel like any one of us can say something, and it could be eventually in our game. Like it could be added to our arsenal. You know what I mean?
Well, in that regard too, though, I did kind of want to ask you about Coach Doombros because you know he's coming into this one, lots of experience from the EMEA region. Coach MBS as well. Is that also played a big factor in this? Because I feel like they're bringing some of those European sensibilities to 100 Thieves.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be honest. Like a lot of the things that they say, like strategically, are not what we're used to, but something that we're always open to. Like when it comes to comps and stuff like that, some of us are like even laughing at some of the ideas that they have. Like when it comes to compositions.
And then you do it.
Yeah, and then we do it, and it works out. We're like, oh, I guess it's good.
Yeah, which is absolutely incredible. So I guess in that regard, right, we do feel like this is the best that we've seen 100 Thieves. The form looks absolutely immaculate. Is there more left to give for this 100 Thieves team? Because I think right now we've been really treated to some great gameplay from you guys.
No, I definitely think there's more left. I don't think we're satisfied with where we're at. Obviously, we're in the lower bracket. We have to beat NRG or MFBR in order to actually make it to Santiago. So I feel like once we get past that hurdle, I feel like I'm going to be a lot more proud of us as a team.
All right, what do you guys think? 100 Thieves got more left in the tank, guys? What do you think? Oh, I think they... Wait, come on, make some noise! See that guy right there, he's into it. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here. But coming up next, we got the run back. It's C9 versus Leviathan. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you on the other side.
Enquanto não vemos C9, vou dar uma multadinha aqui, chat. Pegar um chazinho. Pegar alguma coisa pra comer, né?
É bom, é bom. Uma coisinha pra comer aí é bom. Nossa.
Ai, ai. Voltei com um macarrãozinho.
So close. EG was so animated. They were out of their seats. They were this close to push that map 3.
It was insanely close. I feel like it could have gone either way. I mean, it was map 1. We already had a teaser what was going to go down, and then in that overtime. No.
Yeah, I really thought we were going to get a map 3, especially when 100 Thieves were struggling to kind of find success on that second half. EG did a really good job at punishing whatever they were doing on the attack side. Yeah. And I'm glad. I'm happy for 100 Thieves for getting that 2-0, but a third map would have.
It would have been. True. Unfortunately, that's not what we're going to get. Yeah. So we have to say goodbye to EG and 100 Thieves are keeping themselves alive in our lower bracket. Now, this next one is going to be a rematch, actually, from kickoff as well. Cloud9 won that one 2-0 the first time. Historically, this is also just kind of LEV's match to lose. They're 7-1 all time. Alas, of course, the rosters have changed quite drastically.
There has been massive changes from that match that they had week 1, but also historically, it's honestly pretty impressive that Cloud9 has this kind of score against LEV, because LEV has always been one of the best teams that we've had in Americas. Even if they're not winning those trophies, they're always coming very, very close. But that comes from that Cloud9 that we always know are great in the group stage. Now, with this elimination, when the pressure is a little on, I feel like LEV, with this version, with this roster, and a little different.
Yeah, I mean, what's kickoff without a bunch of subs and changes moving around? A lot of moving pieces here.
You gotta do it.
And yeah, and this rematch specifically feels kind of funny to me, because when we saw C9 and LEV first go at it, it was like C9
Caraca,
threw
o
Demon 1
Sato,
in the pool.
meu
You know
Deus.
what? You have to face Demon 1. Now it's reversed. You threw Demon 1 at us, now we're bringing in Neon. So it's just like a whole new opponent for them.
Now, Oxy, of course, is back in the mix for Cloud9. However, we saw him on that center role, Penny playing that duelist. Do you think this is just a new direction for them? Is there something, are we going to see a repeat of that?
I think so. I honestly really liked seeing Penny on that first duelist. I think it was very natural for him. And seeing Oxy kind of shift towards playing Chamber and Vito, right? These sentinels that you can still be super aggressive on. He looked really good.
And when we look at the changes that Cloud9 made all the way back in the off-season, the biggest one to talk about was Penny. But it was because we know this player for being incredible on the duelist role. We didn't know exactly what he was going to be playing.
Penny
but this is something that makes sense. Penny on the duelist and the possibility
Caraca, o
of running
KD de
some duelists
1.4.
that has never really been exposed for Cloud9, but now they can add, and that adds an extra layer that they need.
Yeah, it's a new look for sure, but I don't think it's...
Por exemplo, na EG, quem tem 1.4 é o da Gzinho, pô.
Around these comps, right? Because we saw them playing a little bit looser when they had that sub, but they overall
O problema é que não pode ter o DG também, né, caralho, no time.
Quickly adapt to that to these new comps. Still good.
Also, even though they had to deal with changes, some of course they couldn't really plan ahead with Oxy having to leave the roster for a little bit.
Porque literalmente o DG salvou jogando de ouro nessa última, pegando ímpio e atacando muito. O problema é que a turma, para defender, ficou muito ruim.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Here with the man himself, Zeppa. Look, last time you guys faced Leviathan, it was a 2-0 victory for y'all, and you, in particular, dropped +21, an absolutely massive performance. This time around, Neon is on the team, and I'm sure you've seen his impact. How do you stop a player like that from taking control of the game?
Like a player of that caliber, you can't really stop, but you can slow him down, and that's what we're gonna do and try to do. And we got Oxy back, so the power of nepotism's at full strength. So there's that.
Of course, man. Hey, brother, always a pleasure to talk to you. Best of luck in the matchup. Back to you.
Just love that Nepo power. What can you say? Well, let's see what they have in store for us today. They will be going up against Leviathan, a team that has gained quite a momentum in that lower bracket, of course, with their recent performances.
This is my favorite team going into kickoff, and I feel like it was a lot of people's favorite team, but that was with the addition of Neon that we're seeing right now. The impact that this young duelist has is incredible, and we got to see it yesterday in moments under pressure, in moments where you don't know what way the round is going to go, in moments where it seemed like Sentinels had some momentum when things were getting close. It was always this LEV squad with little experience, with this new duelist that they added 2 matches ago.
Ontem o Neon jogou muito bem, mano. Vamos ver se ele faz a mesma de ontem, né? Ele tem essa também. O DGzinho ontem jogou pra caralho, amassou. Aí hoje jogaram de novo. Ele amassou de novo. O problema é que o time já não... Já tava meio baleado já
comfortable in chaos.
Nas partidas de ontem. Aí tem que correr atrás de novo.
LEV was the first team that already had everything locked. They had a lot of time to prepare. They had a lot of time to figure out how those roles were going to look like, what those agents were going to look like. So that's why you see that level of comfort, even if they just added Neon.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what they were committed to, right? And they said it early on as well. Like, they are aware that it will be shaky early on, but once Neon is in, there will be A-okay. And that's literally what happened. So now we see the roster at its full strength in its entirety. Now, King had another solid performance as well in the win over Sentinels just yesterday. That's our IGL.
Incredible, incredible. He does it all. He does the IGL, he does the kills as well. I feel like every single time that the team is in a tough situation, either he's making great calls to play around the map, when, you know, and running and making the other team a little bit desperate when they're playing these slow attack rounds, or he's the one closing it out with the kills, with the ultimates. He's so smart, such a smart player.
Yeah, I feel like a big talking point for King specifically and his calling is that they do tend to play really slow on that attack. But I honestly really like it. I think he has really good pre-round calls to get those first opening picks. And I think slowing down, allowing the team to make the next move and just have a reaction off that is really overlooked as a kind of an IGL style.
It's also kind of the playbook of their coach, right? Honor loves to play it slow.
Yeah, exactly. And it works for them. So even though it's kind of a hard watch sometimes, you know, having to wait out that having to wait out a full minute and 40 for them to get the same result as if they were to kind of just run it down sometimes, it's smart. I like it.
I agree. Keeping those explosive young players in check as well, like making them slow it down. Like, so there's a lot of work for King in that scenario. And those young players really have, they're giving that Zoomer energy, right? Like, they love to play aggressive. And this team also has everything to play for, because a lot of masters for Leviathan, that would mean so much, all of them.
In Americas, we only have 2 Latin American teams that got eliminated, having to play with a sub-roster in Leviathan, and now they are the potential representatives. What it would mean for this team to make it is just, it cannot be described, especially
tô até agora pensando, por que caralho ela tá com uma caneta na mão, viado?
There were Australians. This Chilean player qualifying would mean everything, and I would love to see it.
I would love to see it too, and especially today.
Foda, viu? Ah, tá, vi. É a digitalizadora, pô. Ela tá com um tablet na frente lá. Você tá anotando.
And this candle is hanging on for dear life. So what is it going to be?
Wish for home with a win.
Yeah, home with a win. Blow that candle. They're like a pro. Look at that. Didn't miss it all. Means he's not going to miss in the server. Best of luck today. Fist bump there, and I'm going to eat this entire cake. Goodbye. Yeah, I got you.
Well, why does he get to eat?
Yeah, why does it kind of unfair?
Excuse me? That's not how this works, Alex. That's not how this works. First, Sato has to play for the victory on the server, and then
Sato nem acreditou que ia ganhar o bolo. Só pensou que era uma piada ali e já era. É meu aniversário e tal, e já era.
It really makes you wonder.
It does. Questions need to be answered. Also, regarding those two teams, what will we see from both Cloud9?
Well, I'm already seeing a little Waylay, which Sato Waylay, it's a classic. I feel like Sato is up there when it comes to Waylays in Americas, or maybe even in the whole world, right? I think he's such a self-sufficient Waylay. Like, he doesn't always need his team to follow up. He's really good at using his util to isolate fights just for himself.
And that's the thing about this whole team. You think about them individually and how they're playing together. When they're playing these slow rounds, it's not they're all in a 5-stack waiting to hit. Right? They're all playing around the map, and King is trusting that if it comes down to a 1v1 duel, if he comes to finding that opening, anybody can get it, and Sato's one of them who gets it the most.
Yeah, I mean, when you have players at this capacity, when it comes to just raw mechanics, I would trust any one of them in a 1v1, right? Even in a 1v2, go get your multi-kills.
I mean, Sato, he was the top performer yesterday, like, without a doubt. He definitely kept Leviathan in that game.
Yeah, it was a lot of him and those first kills that he was getting, and then to close it out, it was King. And I was so curious to see where the maps were going to go, because that really shapes if it's going to be as close as our first match of today was or not. Mind Breeze and Abyss, I really like this one.
You really like the vibe?
I really like
expecting some sick Waylay stuff coming out of Sato?
Not only the Waylay, but also King and things that he was doing yesterday, those clutches. I just feel like this is his map.
Yeah, and I feel like they are really good at getting those first picks, like I said, and then kind of playing a little bit slow, because on this map, you kind of have to push down to get more info so you can start stacking towards sites. We saw it just in this match before where 100 Thieves was kind of struggling on their gambles because they didn't have that info.
This is what we saw just yesterday when they were playing in Sentinels, and they were really good. Not starting mainly on that defensive side where King was closing and saving a lot of the rounds. I want to see the momentum from the team starting on, and that is not really something that I'm worried about for LEV. This is a team that's very cool, calm, and collected, even in moments under pressure.
This feels like a very, not outdated comp, but definitely nothing new here without a Waylay. You know, going back to the Raze, going back to the Chamber.
Razor Chamber, Brimstone, Viper e...
He is so good.
Caralho, não deu pra
When
ver o outro
everything is
lá.
on the line, both of these teams are fighting for elimination, or against elimination rather. So let's send it over for our
Já
first
aparece.
round to our casters. Here's Riff and Vincili.
Não, eu sei, eu só queria saber adiantado.
Temos tá bem parecido com
Foi
os
da
outros times
partida
que teve
anterior.
agora.
That's true. The sequel of this matchup is definitely a little bit of a reboot in terms of role changes. You see Oxy coming back, playing a little bit of a...
Acho que fazer como coisa, esse meta tá sendo esse mesmo, pô.
Sobre?
Brimstone, Fate, Waylay.
Ah, tá.
Botaram esse Sky ali, tá igual, literalmente igual.
É que um apostou mais no... É que a meta tá no bang agora, né?
Sim.
Que tá... Qualquer bang hoje dura muito mais. Por exemplo, o Shepa jogando de Sky é muito vantajoso porque ele ao mesmo tempo que banga, ele literalmente já cura, então, o pessoal, então é uma vantagem. Ó, isso que eu falei, ó, literalmente. O Vic tinha tomado uns tiros lá, ele já curou aqui, ó. Mas também cobrou já também.
And LEV across the map here are able to do work as C9 is just looking for a way back in, but it's not going to happen.
Rapid buy it's so good within these pistol rounds, especially if you're playing against a team that, or just in general against teams that will have to buy util to try to stall. So playing hash shield, maybe no shield at all. So that's 2 body shots, a kill. Leviathan used that to their advantage, despite losing a player in the first place. The rest of it looked very clean for the control into you all.
Pegou ali, né?
And you had that jiggle and the force TP out from Oxy. It already gave a little bit of a space for Leviathan to move up. All that was also thanks to Spike Z's insert into Hookah to cut these, get these picks off the rotate.
So nice. Really with, like you said, low util for the round, they have to use everything they do have accordingly. See how they pop into the second round here. Vic, only one able to really find one of the enemies on that round. They're just going for the full classic buy here, no real purchasing. Oh, they're getting behind the smoke.
Love a pop.
Always good for a few here if they can really get surprised and knows what's going on. Delsa's able to take down 2, so the damage sticks a little bit. But still, 3 alive are going to be happy here for LEV as they can play this one out pretty safe.
Just to figure out where Penny could be at. Positions, Neon still watching that showers, not creeping into B yet. You don't want to walk solo into the snipe, but that was an easy punish from Leviathan. Tried to flash peek out, but the flash was still inside the Brimstone smoke. And once he flooded out, none of the players here from Leviathan were really blinded and
todo mundo fundo B.
Chance here to do that damage, but smart play for Leviathan started together.
Tá, o Cloud9 tá indo no corredor. Pegou ali fechado.
Shot there from Neon to clean it up on the Outlaw. And it's not too bad. LEV control their first few rounds. They have an answer for the bonus is the question. We'll have to see what C9 will do to really
Napa, o time da Leviathan.
É a briga de round.
Both these teams, not necessarily against each other, but throughout this kickoff, had good results in their defensive sides.
Leviathan botou a Napa pra ver se Pega essa turma e sente o cheiro.
It was a lot about the Oxy versus Baby Bay. Lots of rounds where C9 lost, where G2 were doing a lot of clutches as well. To clean up that act a little bit better here to have a strong start on their first half. One has a excellent. Well, now he peeks a little bit too much, so that gives his position away. But with the jump spawn, he does get a little bit. He knows it's at least Oxy still playing on top of this A site. They're weak towards B.
Very aggressive by Vic to go into hookah, but always good for one if he can get that quick situation. Loves to play aggressive on his opponents. Right now, LEV are just going to insert and keep walking around the map. It looks like they may get Sato to do some kind of fake here in a little bit.
Actually, LEV thought that they were on that B side.
Yeah.
Sato swings out, half HP remaining. Into the mid round, that dog.
3 na, 2 no meio do corredor.
Because he's so passive, I like this push from Cloud9.
Os
Double it
caras
up.
estão
Let
tudo
them take that
no
short
banheiro
space.
lá.
It gives a chance for the players to rotate from spawn and to try to punish Neon in showers.
Secondary, Oxy tries to take the place and get the firefight in their favor as a quick trade comes on the front side of site, but still waiting to break that backside defense. Can he get the crown? He cannot. Zelsis drops him right away, and now it's the rotation over. And front side is still there for LEV, but they have to figure out where the defense is coming from. The timing is just there in favor of Cloud9 so well, but the shots for Neon are there. You can't. There you go. Seppa takes him out. 2-1 now as the bonus round will not go in favor of the LEV.
C9 has already identified these late lurks and inserts. Seppa gets the instant punish. I think that was Sato trying to creep up into hookah, and he picks him off. And we're talking about that slow playstyle. Emily and Dan Dry were mentioning how Leviathan likes to play slow, call slow, because they like to play these inserts. Remember also their own game against Sentinels. Although they had an excellent defensive side, it was still a matchup that went into OT. Because of how slow things were, you started identifying where these lurks could be. King was also left in multiple occasions alone on an island while the rest of the team were just falling like dominoes on the execution. The game plan, although it forces a lot of rotates, you also have to make sure you keep bodies on site where you're able to enter. If not, that slow pace style is going to bite you in the ass.
Positioning, get in. 20 seconds in the round, and they're already going to have an insert into showers for Neon, and they can work whatever they want across the map. Quick search. That sees nothing.
Vini tá segurando no corredor.
Lev could be falling into a bit of a trap, but safety with the waylay peeking first.
One way of staying alive here when you're not playing like a Whaler or a Yoru, paint shells to push the line, but he's walking down. That's a slight mistake to start. You're trying to find that information.
Ele foi
Now
cobrado.
you're forcing potentially players to start rotating out to find some info. Trusting out Oxy, solo on the A site because you have this trip on shorts, never been activated in this round.
Aí vinha a Bang.
That will confirm some bodies at that spot, but at the same time, Leviathan did fall back, so they lost control of that showers. So this early rotating gamble from C9 still works out for now. Kilkin calls the audible. Gamble up into the short push.
Got the soft side. We saw this from LEV in their past game too. Wind that clock down, try to find the soft site, and they've got it again here towards A. They're still going to have to deal with 4 members on the side of C9 once that spike is planted. Quick peeks from both ends. Omnipresent as Cloud9 on the site take right off the bat. They find this now in a 3v4 situation, make that 2 for the side of LEV.
He still has a lineup to work with though, so it's Blows that has to play hero in U-Haul. Getting one would be perfect.
Tries to peek it now. Oxy on that lower angle. There were just too many for Blows to look at here as King may try to get 1 or 2 if they swing him, but he's got to be cautious. Oh, Celsius is going to swing it outright to let them know if he's there. The correct choice, the defuse comes through in a second round here for Cloud9 as they keep 4 alive there.
That's why it's smart for King to not throw that molly despite looking like an impossible scenario. Wants to try to find a surprise attack and maybe chances go on his side, but this is what we're talking about, why it's so important for C9 to reach there towards that showers and hold that spot. How quick you can rotate through the TP, knowing that there's no opponents on that other side, because you still have bodies at that spot, and Oxy is still watching it the whole time.
Nice guy.
Punishes some players for Leviathan on that slow rotate back into showers. Tying up the game 2-2, Leviathan's on a broken econ. Try to go for a quick 4-1.
What's going to give that shotgun space? It looks like both duelists are actually there. There should be an explosion onto the site as the honk goes over. All the eggs in one basket here as they crash onto B. Possibility for
Ai, no céu, que porradaria foi essa?
Não sei.
With Lev on the site entry, everyone prepared for that. A beautiful job by Zelsis and Zeppa to hold the site down.
Você quer dar?
Zelsis, great start for him so far as the IGL. That loss against
Nossa,
G2, he was
morreu com a granada.
present in the fights.
Sim.
Didn't have the best results that he wanted in terms of fragging capabilities on the side of Cloud9, but doing a great job. Facing a couple of these eco kills, the crossfire is perfect with his teammates. But you'll take that anytime. Build that confidence up. You're gonna reach a flow state in your calls too.
Very clean. And even on the retakes, they're being very organized here. They were at the soft site last round and still came out with 4 alive, right? So making it work. Staying very safe, playing their lives to the end of these rounds, because again, Leviathan will take it to the end of the rounds. Util into shower to start here. Sato staying clean on this as the spike rotates for Lev.
Só tá limpando os brinquedos só.
Both Zelsis and Penny. They want this space back.
Segurou tudo, fez barulho.
To identify that
Todo mundo tá lá na B, lá no corredor da B.
You're pushing and prodding, you're seeing how C9 likes to react for these mid rounds. Towards showers. C9 knows about these late inserts towards hookah.
Leo vai tentar jogar o boneco dele.
Approach these plans to find these gaps. Starts off with this op for Neon as well.
And so much of the info grabbing. Default on default for Lev here. Once again in the round to insert one, get it back. It's so easy with the Yoru, so they get back to the fight like they are heading towards A once again. Oxy on that line. All the way back to spawn.
Oh,
After a shot, he just stays actually. Doesn't even worry about the rendezvous. Looks for another one. Sees ahead, but he goes
Pegou mais
and takes blows down. Spike's finally grabbed once again here, and Lev are just kind of left wondering, going for the 1v1s now, and Spike's going to make that work.
Gotta start hurting you up though. They rotate into showers of 15 seconds left in the spike. It almost looks like they're giving it up.
Always have an idea, but a hard time to make that commitment work. It seems Oxy makes it a 3rd kill, and they are just going to hang out by shower for this one. Lev save out instead of pressuring in on that chamber with a little bit of util with something else other than bodies once Oxy takes his first shot and they don't hear the rendezvous.
Like Zine pretty much just looking for some damage control. Trying to make it expensive for C9 within the next rounds, but looks like Leviathan really wanted to save the operator into this next round. Interesting too, when Neon drops the op for blows, they just go for a body peek. They didn't really try to use their own util to scout where Oxy could be hiding, which they have never found out at the beginning of the round. That is not something you really want to do here going to your later rounds on your attack side. The more you're going to try to play the contact play on a slow style, the more it's easier for the opera on the defense to be ready for these type of picks. They'll change the tempo a bit.
Oxy changes positions as well. Has a little bit of help from Vic here. Oh, and it's going to be his peak too with Vic's runaway steps. Baits in a peek as Oxy swings back out of the smoke. Beautifully done by those two.
Oxy's looking very clean on the op so far. He's shutting down every lane that he's taking.
All down. Lowe's trying to stay on the line here. As most active we've seen Lev really get at the beginning of a round. Neon's going to help on that right. Oh, almost a haircut for Vic. He sees King's shoulder. Oh, the pauldron of brimstone gives him up. They are just going to be losing numbers across the map now. Have to reset and resort themselves as Spike gaining a bit of that space that Lev might be able to work with an A.
And it's almost like clockwork. The wall comes up, they're going to check that corner close to that minute mark. They see the insert, punish it again, but thankfully Spike one more time gets a lurk kill and opens it up while Neon gets caught.
And he answers, still able to get himself sorted out on who might have timed him. Spike, the big name this round, the kingpin of what could happen, takes a hit from Oxy there. Yalk goes down, now up to the rookie. Lowe's seeing if he can capitalize on this round and bring it within 1 to Cloud9. Ducks himself, just tries to delay.
Had the lineup too, but now the jig is up.
Still hasn't heard the spike. 8 bullets left. Playing the jiggle peek. And high-low, trying to use protection to chamber here, and it's not going to be enough. Half, and the off by Penny and both Oxy for the shot. Well played. Emptying that round, but C9 still going to grab it.
A huge pick by Oxy, defending his teammate. Or sorry, by Penny defending Oxy as he was defusing, and that allows for him even towards the end to get the showstopper in this round. 5 unanswered rounds since C9 has built up that economy. You see all these mistakes now, even tucking in that corner, you think you have a timing, but your gun's sticking out, half your body's sticking out. It's an easy wall bang for the B defenders. Now there's a lot to fix here going to the next few rounds, and I feel like you need to have that conversation with your team for owner. You have to avoid the up. Have different ways for the inserts. I think inserts towards the showers are having a buddy system as they have their attempt to work towards the showers. Towards hookah. C9 likes to re-clear towards showers. If they're going to give that space in the very beginning, that's an opportunity for the operator probably to take that space for Neon, because he's still trying to find gaps and openings on the attack side off, and he's always had that vision blocked by the Viper wall in the mid round. Now it allows for him to creep up a little bit better within the A site. Continues to be fairly passive for C9 at these defensive rounds. But one step at a time. First one is avoid Oxy in the first place, or try to find ways to stop him. Conversation was there as well from Zeppa with Golden Boy when they arrived here at the arena. How do you stop somebody that's red hot like Neon? And so far, they really didn't have to do much. Yeah, they didn't have to slow him down because they're just finding opening and easy picks almost gifted to them at this point. Santos should be the one receiving gifts. It's his birthday.
Where is Flowers? All right. They could saturate orbital strike. It is a lower buy here for LEV, but they have options. The default has been their playbook. Are they going to employ one of these faster strats? Dimensional drift to start us off, clearing that long position, but Oxy's not giving it up just yet. How big is this going to be? They are bringing everything and raining it down on the B site for the side of LEV. The orbital strike grabs 2, and quickly, just like that, Leviathan are on top here. Put some defense on the site.
What a nice trap play. Using ults, double ults to clear it out, forcing the TP back from Oxy right into the Brimstone ult. Now Blows has forward position.
Takes a little bit of tempo, it seems like. The heart's going. Get the aim online here for LEV. Really nice hit on this round. Penny's definitely going to have to save the ult. He'll get backstabbed here by Blows, and that's going to be a quick round for LEV. Out of the timeout, they attack on the low buy. Ultimates were used, but hey, you come away with the W.
Yeah, definitely. Because now it brings you back in the game. Your economy's back up because you had a Thrifty, and you leverage those ultimates to the best of its capabilities when you're on in this Thrifty round. So again, try to find that information early, and it did exactly that. Not only with the Hawk spawning Oxy in the first place, but the dimensional drift confirms where those players are at. The saturate slows them down. At the perfect combo, despite even Vic getting 2 kills in the first place.
Nice.
Weird way to celebrate.
Yeah.
Thrifty.
What's more? All right. Quick prowler into showers as long as being watched. So again, LEV try to touch both sides of those extremities. Make sure they're known.
I just realized maybe I was looking at the wrong head when they're looking at the camera. It couldn't make the difference between me.
That was an owner head. That was an owner head.
That said, though, things will calm down once again, and just talking about how you want to leverage the op. Contact play potentially. I think you want to play it safe. Running into a lot of these dry peaks into Oxy's op.
Yeah.
Blows is already there, hip to hip with Neon. But otherwise, they don't really want to get their position yet.
And they're playing methodical on the side of Cloud9. They're not pressured at all, so you get the 1-minute dog in the shower, and then maybe the 30-second guiding light if you still have one, and one for retake just to clear long. Really setting the pace of what LEV could even be doing based on that information grab. Oxy's the 30-second check towards long, and they do have an idea here, but it could be a TP. Showers is controlled by LEV, and this could all be a ruse. They get the Seekers out towards A, and see a backpedal. They're waiting on it, though.
Nice.
Fans. Can they sell this still?
They have to. They pinged and confirmed 3 players, so they know one's in the pit, and there's maximum player right in the back of the site. So they open it up to Leviathan, and they make an easy 4v4, and you can flip the map for the plant. There's only 12 seconds left, and by the time they plant, C9's already closed that gap on a rotate from spawn.
Any showstopper out of this one to be used. Vic, though, knows how to play inside the pit. Few shots back and forth. It's still going to leave Blows alive inside that pit. Noiser, I think he just did a fast step and kept it from making noise, but he's found. No. Vic knows where he's going. Searches him out. Nicely done by C9 here. It does not seem like they're kind of put off by having to retake it all. Elsis has the team flowing together here in these situations.
And King thought that he was at the timing to go inside that pit, but we had too much noise yet for Leviathan after they planted. Flipped that sight towards that back of A. Pushing towards the spawn solo, and that's also a very tough call.
Good, it's all good. Let's drink some water. Let's get.
Yeah, for a Spike to push alone into the spawn, knowing that the rotate should be on that side. When Blows again with the ult spotted 3 players into spawn or into the B site, and nobody TP yet. Optimistic for him to try to go for that peak, but he got instantly punished and didn't give a chance for Leviathan to set up in the post plant. And then to double into smoke. Love that bait. We'll talk about it in a second right now as Oxy gets another player advantage for C9 this round.
Being active on this default, why not? I mean, if Lever is going to be back there looking for things to happen quietly, why don't you just yell in their face right away? Vic does it again into Hookah. They are being relentless on these rounds where you said they've seen Lev trying to creep up all this secrecy that is almost getting them in trouble because they're not using the util to get there.
Like the responsibility of Vic just to shut down that Hookah in the mid-round. Just want to talk about that trip that was placed inside that smoke. That was actually pretty cool for C9. Right now, if you see the trademark inside that smoke and you want to play it slow for Leviathan, might want to try to creep into it and just break it and then fall back or force a rotate or something. But C9 holds 2 players inside that smoke in the surprise attack. Walks through from Lev. Game here. Time remaining on a full roster for 9 against Leviathan. You have no choice but to see time.
Lots of money for Zelsis. Going hunting. And I get my Brimalt with 1 kill or death. So he feels good about it. And that's going to be a Brimstone ult for next round. Showstoppers there. Going to be even tougher for Lev to get this up online if C9 is doing smoke plays, but also not peeking the long lines that Neon's trying to get on.
That's a positive aspect for sure with the Showstopper being available for Penny. It's been up for a couple of rounds and he's been able to win these rounds without having to use it. Now Zelsis has his, so that allows him to cycle a couple of these and maybe have a strong close towards the end of the half. That said, you also bring up another great point, Riv, in terms of the comp that that C9 are currently playing. You have Brimstone smokes, very thick smokes. You're using it for fort lines. You have the Viper walls on one side as well. You're trying to play this off on the attack side. Where could you really go? So sometimes you'll try to say, okay, well, my opening lanes here are now into showers, into short, but the short still is very hard to clear up very slowly, so it maybe comes down to that shower pick for Oxy again if he's choosing to be in that spot. Gonna lose that one against Neon with what I've witnessed so far within this half.
And we even saw the round where Neon was holding long over there with Blows, or either one of them. It was Oxy that just kept the line, right? It's hard to peek a chamber. It's just gonna rendezvous away. That's never the safest thing. So it's even hard to get on that line. Oxy's gonna be somewhere. Like we're saying, the smokes are going to be other places cutting off the angle, so it becomes tough.
And Owner, when he called a timeout, they went very quickly with double ults. This time around, he calls a timeout when coming back into this one. Sato has his available too. Advantage as well that they have a lot of weapons to work with. Seeing that they're playing this 1-1-3. Still trying to look for that extremity control, trying to see if 9 will try to push down towards his B long in the first place. I think for Neon, he may want to avoid the flash. If Zeppa's looking for that early info at the beginning of the round.
Oh, they have trademark and showers. Okay. Round is back to default for Lev. This push. Quick peek out. Oh, that's the second time they've done that for Oxy. Just set the kill up for him by a jump or a fake.
Já que ganhou uma, então, né?
Chance for King to even set up inside Hookah this time around. Walking up Sands, it's never been challenged for the last 11 rounds, last 10 rounds, so they take him down right away.
That trade in, a lot of info there. Let's Spike get Big control on lamps. Just bit by.
Caralho!
That stops the showstopper, but
Meu
now they're
Deus.
kind of a little bit separated across the map.
Bala.
Finally with TPL, but they gotta fight towards this A site for Leviathan now. It's committed.
Celsius still has that orbital strike, trying to plant the smoke. He's
Tomou.
gonna be able to walk right up, lines himself up with the truck. Easy frag there, knowing the spike was just outside his smoke. Just playing in secrecy right now from the side of C9, and
Tomou também.
looking at every angle to see where these
Tomou
shots
do
might be coming
Aladdin,
from.
talvez.
He's even gonna have somebody up behind him if
Aladdin.
it takes long enough. Vic is there. Celsius with the 3K in sight, playing very patient.
These get very difficult for Leviathan too. When you're having like double pushes,
É, vai dar C9. Tem como.
winning these duels, it's hard for you to play these slow
Ah,
plays and
senão não vai levar,
Uma-
mas...
É. Mas que pode acontecer aí agora é a Leviathan conseguir mais 2 pontos. É o máximo que eu acho que dá pra fazer aí. Mas eles vão ter que mudar de estratégia.
Oxy's off one too, expect him to hit a shot, you take that chamber out.
Eu acredito que não, eles podem até manter a estratégia. O problema maior é a concentração de perca de bala, mano. Eles estão perdendo muita bala fácil.
That was close. Actually, no damage as we check the board. We don't see like the push or the pull of LEV really is making C9 consider moving too much, and if they are,
No.
it's for Celsius to call the team on a full retake.
actually not bad here. It's slow still from Leviathan, but
Acho que o Oxy leva. É levado agora.
information from Zeppa, and somehow you still creep down for info and get one.
He's insane. Walks out of his rendezvous like, oh, this is normal.
What happens when you're winning every single fight across the board? You find that confidence and it yet to be punished.
Penny playing on the truck for the first time, catches Spike off guard here. C9 still giving different looks as we're in the last round of the first half from the defensive side. 5 alive as they're
Outro lado.
cleaning up the rest of Leviathan inside sight.
Vai queimar da janela, não?
Get hip and
Saiu.
hip here before they try anything, but there's just not enough time. Another round
Yeah.
that ticks down, and LEV find themselves low on numbers and impossible on clutch right now. 9-3 in the first half for Cloud9 as they just play such a sturdy defense.
Look very simplistic on that side for Cloud9. Leviathan, though, again, it comes down to now that they have the opportunity to play the defense, they definitely have strong looks. Game that went to OT against Sentinels. Not the best of looks on their attack side, but it definitely did go back and forth. So still quite surprising that Leviathan still wants to play this map of bind. Leviathan has a chance to walk away with this.
All right, we'll have to see what's in the defensive playbook of LEV when we come back after this break.
Cara, vamos ver agora.
Que agora literalmente é voltar à base, né? Let's win.
Possivelmente agora eles vão fazer tentar um entre meio. Colocar um entre meio e tentar não gastar bem no início a habilidade.
Tentar segurar pro retake, né? É verdade. Seria uma boa. Porque daí a C9 já acaba já logo de uma vez. Só que pra isso ela não pode perder, né? Ela não pode ter falhas.
Sim. Mas agora é o da virada já, né? Se ele conseguir, a Leviathan conseguir agora um ponto,
Ela tem
tem
que
chance,
conseguir. Ela tem que conseguir mais 2 pontos. Vai pra 11. Aí já era. Aí a Leviathan não pode deixar ela fazer esses 2 pontos. Porque é os 2 pontos que vai chegar no 13 e daí esses 2 pontos eles já se empolgam.
Vamos ver agora. Qual é a estratégia. Cara, esse mousezinho personalizado ali Top. Não, vou tentar meio. Tá meio.
Vamos ver, né? Deixa eu só tirar o...
On the top of the heaven and try to find timings against
Aqui, né?
his opponents. So there's a little bit of studying being done here from Mimi's camp and Cloud9. They could definitely shut this down, but Leviathan, this pistol, very similar looks to the first half. 3 instead of 4 sheriffs, but 2 ghosts. So they could try to play Poison Orb on Spike Z.
Love that little lineup. Anybody swung.
Box voltou pra CLT.
Quite a
Hello.
few at B, and seeing that setup, knowing somebody was in hookah plus a few on top of the tub, definitely going to let them know there's a protocol for the site. So they want A. On the way back, quick clear, quick run, wall down, and everybody.
Aí, fortaleceram o entry.
Oh, right into Lamps. Waiting on the other side. Don't have any shotguns here, so it's going to have to be that true aim. Everybody just pauses at arm's length.
Tentaram? Ainda não.
Não, eu vou tentar segurar um pouco mais.
Spike a little low, so he's timid on really giving this full peek up, but he doesn't think anybody's in yet. So much time had passed there. They're able to still clear it. Huge information there with Spike going down. He can play his life.
Boa noite,
Just
Yuna.
make sure he is a nuisance here in the site. Oh, he's feeling it. Actually, he wants a few more shots. As more Sheriff from the side of Lev come out, it seems like an important weapon for them to close it out. But Vic is an important player for C9 here in the clutch position. Sato's going to drop, still hidden by the smoke. It's going to be the last second as it clears, and he clears Vic. A round win for Lev.
What a nice shot by Vic on that second entry from Spawn. And almost found that timing when the smoke was disappearing into hookah. Did some damage onto Sato, but Sato was able to clear
Yuna
it
pelo celular.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes down to the amount of rounds that's been won by Cloud9, how dominating it's been by Cloud9 so far, some mistakes are starting to show up as well. Not clearing these corners. I'm trying to fight and retake back towards U-Haul. Thankfully, again, it's those shares that help. Good shots by blows.
Vamos tentar de novo? Não, mudar a estratégia de novo.
An outlaw in the second round.
Vamos pro B.
Out of range with it. I don't even know if Foxy set it down in the first place.
Sometimes you just look to get a quick
Errou.
peek and more than you wanted to get bit off there.
Melhor pra fazer agora é tentar rodar pra...
They're happy with the result so far.
O problema é que tá meio longe, né? Mas...
Sim. Eles podiam fazer duas coisas. Um separar e...
fazer barulho na A.
Nossa, vão tudo banheiro.
Mano.
Oh. A lot of ways to get out of that one.
Nossa, foram tudo banheiro.
On the back line here. C9 should have the front
Vamos só tomar.
to make this a
Deixa
little
eu brincar.
weird. Looks like they can caterpillar through this maze of smokes to get themselves
Opa.
in. Vic and the
Levaram
bandit.
Vamos ter que pegar lá em cima lá de novo. No corredor.
Oh, it's a question of how they're going to
Largaram o janelão.
really scary with these classics being close range and how many smokes there are, so Lev has to wait them out.
Nossa, tá tudo aladinho, viado. Nossa.
Tem mais um smoke pra fazer.
Laid down right as the spike hit, so that's about half the spike time. Now the orbs are going to actually cycle up. Good damage from bench, that's all they needed to start. Molly's going to start to delay here as Zelsis 1 HP in that orb. Starts to bring decay back up. As the back and forth happens. Vic still alive, just looking for shots. Oh, those were good.
No.
Nossa! Já era.
This is ridiculous. Vic on 4. You thought there was
Nossa.
going to be another defuse hit after that half was brought
Cagou,
up, but there was no
cagou.
time.
O combo do...
Sim, a bolinha de veneno com revólver. O tiro que ele deu. Se não tivesse acertado o tiro, só o veneno tinha dado. Ele tinha conseguido risar, né?
Se ele tivesse tomado só um do... tinha segurado. Mas o problema é que literalmente ele tomou fogo e depois tomou veneno. Daí já era.
In from showers, brimstone smokes are 19.25 seconds, so you get basically half the spike time if they're not going to walk in there. You cycle the Viper orbs, added pressure. Lev did not want. That's crazy.
Yeah. Delayed with the molly from Brimmy.
Exactly.
Nossa, combo.
And Snakebite, there's a lot.
Pulling your hair out in that situation for sure.
Combinho.
By C9 and Leviathan's on an eco. Have a good stack though, but not necessarily able to trade off each other yet.
Essa ele tá na maldade.
Dangerous spot to be spoken, but protected a little bit by the team. They know how much time is on the wall if they keep it up full. Oh.
Tomou.
Good corner clearing here, very disciplined. Penny locking down that duelist spot with a few kills is King with the classic. They got to clear him from inside sight, and that shouldn't be too hard. C9 can't give too much respect to this round. They know they have to worry about some angles, but they should be pushing through with the bigger weapons, and that's what's going to happen.
GG.
It's already spotted by this boom bot.
Yeah.
Sabão estavam tudo mirando.
Have the spawn locked.
Oh, a little scary on that aim. Dalsis does not get too hurt. They come out here. Vic's ultimate. Penny's away from 2. And Zalsis again away from orbital strike here. So even if LEV try to start fighting back, they have answers.
This is pretty much LEV's, for me, first big test going into kickoff, right? The first 2 games that they lost from the upper bracket to the middle bracket was a whole different role switch to Neon not coming in yet. Ever since they joined in, they played against a crew team. Had to unfortunately not play with their full roster. Then going into the Sentinels game, it's a team that's in a rebuild, that's still trying to find their identity. And now you have a C9 again that I firmly believe here that meta currently fits them perfectly. It shows here that Leviathan are on a little bit of struggles and some pain points that they need to iron out going the rest of this series, and love to at least warm up now to try to make this game close, like what EG just did previously at 100 Thieves earlier on, and try to build the confidence up moving into the next map.
That's the thing. You have a time to take a moment and figure out what those little speed bumps are. 9 waited out here. If LEV will make a move of their own. Down to a minute, still a lot of time to
Jogou a
play.
ult lá pra corredor pra vir pra B, vai dar uma rushada.
Activate a little bit, and then we go at A. And he's the last actually spear of this, for the point of the spear.
Tirando pra ele.
Ollie over. Very slow. It still seems fake. Waiting for the molly here to commit another fake plant, maybe? Yeah, this fake plant to see where they might be, how much side control they have.
Just picked up the orb, so that will delay even more.
Nossa, ele pensaram num fake punch? Não.
And as they're just trying to do the fight in this section, it was
Vai tá 4x4. Nossa, Zolin morreu.
I was gonna say something needs to happen, or we just need to make coffee and hang out because nobody was doing anything. Going to go all the way to B. This is still going to be a spot. Dashed in, breaking the crosshairs. So I have 8 seconds to plant this one down. It's going to be front sight. Oh, they're going to go inside too, so that C9 has to stay inside the site to defend this. Stay in the face of LEV.
Makes sense. They didn't know how many players were really hanging out outside of their pit, so they're going to play close.
Caralho!
Quick handshake from Penny to Sato.
Eu tirei no cangote ali.
Penny and Oxy are just going to handle.
Caralho, que cheirinho no cangote, então. Nossa, falou assim, vem cá, minha nega.
Looks like they
Vem cá que eu vou te mostrar o que é
There might be money in their pockets, but there's not a lot of health here. So
uma balinha.
they're gonna back up. A few people would need to do a double buy there, so they save.
Especially at a 12-4 scoreline.
Não, ele vai salvar o direito, não tem como.
To close out this map for C9. A lot of chances and opportunities. But the idea was there, the pit's going down, you're tapping that spike consistently, you're trying to bait Leviathan to get into the pit, or at least to see if any players are using utility, you count how many players are playing around the site, knowing where the weaknesses are. And then hopefully Penny could get the kill at the spike Xenas.
Nossa, essa spike Penny.
That's a nice little flick once again by Penny.
Mano, eu queria ver a reação do coisa, de ter ido pra cara dele.
As he died with the spike, he didn't have any more smokes. It was dangerous still for Cloud9 to get into that B site. So good on Penny to be selfless, double satchel and spot spike Z.
Vou fazer Então entre foto do banheiro.
That plan on that B site. Now orb strike available. Showstopper already out and they're clearing out A.
Oh, Sato able to refract that. That was actually huge.
Oh.
Keeps the Guardian in their hands. Neon starts off on Oxy. Lev need to be able to convert this round to keep themselves in. King finds back of Penny. Is they're timing this one so well. Now it's a spike down.
Lev has to up the tempo now. You have Orbital Strike and Molly available for C9. You can't play slow anymore.
Somebody's got to tap it. Somebody's got to make a move on Lev that C9 care about. King throws down the Orbital Strike from his side. Zel's is still holding in the back. Vic's on the front just to check if anybody's peeking through this bit of a one-way. One tap. Expect to hear that Orbital Strike.
Boa.
No, he's not throwing it out just yet.
Vai segurar.
Not going to use it. All right, Lev gets a fifth. Nicely done, nicely pressured. Can they take out Zelsis here? Pablo's going to hide on that one. Good confidence by Lev. It's what we have not really seen from them in the previous rounds to get themselves really in the face of C9. They've just been kind of given that space freely.
We're counting on Vic and Zelsis, those last two players, to maybe utilize that one way because no Viper Wall was coming up yet, so we thought he'd be able to get that fight line into anybody trying to defuse in the first place, but Spike stays, the wall comes up, blocks the vision, trying to just waste the clock down as much as he can. 4J couldn't get the spray through his own wall and allows Leviathan to just take him down, and Zelsis knew better to save the ult into the next round. While Neon has the op this round and gets pushed away by the boom bot.
Zelsis hit. NHP Sato. There were 3 people ready for that refract. And Penny kind of hitting his forehead a little bit, was looking for the finisher, but Sato was already out. All right, C9 again, getting to this plant situation. It doesn't seem like Lev feel too comfortable after this point, but it happens again.
This time you got 5 players, though.
I mean, you have to be able to get back in, touch it, get that orbital strike out.
Exactly. That's checkmate.
Gotta figure out where Zelsis is going to be throwing this from. No real time to delay. A nice flash coming in to take one out. So 4v4 now. Neon has the dimensional drift if he wants to kind of figure out who's on the back line, but I think they need the guns on the front line right now, and he can't go into the pocket dimension.
Over. Orbital strike still available.
Yeah, this is going to be a Cloud9 stringing it out very nicely. End that round.
Deitaram e rolaram no time.
5 score line for C9 here as they run circles around Lev on bind.
Yeah. Too slow on the attack, too slow on the defense, and C9 it was just smooth sailing, cruise control across the finish line to steal that map away from Leviathan's pick. Again, we've seen some good ops coming out and some good defensive plays from Leviathan in the first place when they were playing this map, but they didn't even have a chance to play some defense when their attack was unfortunately toppled down by the strong shots from Vic, Zelsis, Oxy. Nothing that he could do against those 3 players in individual plays.
And they had the rounds for Leviathan where they would do some solo fakes on the extremity that C9 felt comfortable rotating in, but the retakes from C9 also were just so strong it didn't really matter where Lev was able to put their forces. We still have more coming from the second series of the day. Breeze is up next between Cloud9 and Leviathan. Don't go anywhere.
Jogar de novo.
É minha, bro.
Qual é?
Ah, como eu adoro uma propagandazinha. E aí, mano? Já era esperado ou não era?
Cê é louco, o Saci entrevistando o Saci. Caralho. O multiverso tá estranho.
Tá foda. Tá foda. Quero ver o dia que o Saci abrir a live chamado Evas Games, tá ligado?
Nunca.
Ah, nunca vai ter essa.
Nunca. Então,
Aí vai ser o.
Feio, né?
Ah, tá. Então o Saci assistindo a entrevista do Saci que tá fazendo com o coach do Saci.
É louco.
É louco. Caralho, nem eu sabia agora que eu tinha o Saci na minha calma, mano. Agora eu deveria ter pedido mais conselhos. Pedido mais informações de como jogar direito. Como fazer um retake bonito.
Esse Saci aqui tá. Não dá pra isso não.
Down here,
Não dá pra isso não, né?
here, the wall with Emily and Dan. The wall. Also known as
Nossa, a próxima vai ser
the
Breeze.
wall. The wall.
E depois. Não, é Abs, o último.
Eu acho que não vai ter terceira não, mano. Do jeito que foi o jogo.
Cara, a Breeze é punitiva, tá? Vamos ver se a Leviathan vai conseguir, né?
Mas o problema é que a C9 devorou eles já na primeira partida. Já.
And he was, it seems like, waiting for a chance to show off those operator skills, those chamber skills that he did just now. He controlled the game, shut down every single play that Lev had, and like, heard from Imi, they just knew what they were gonna do, and when Oxy knows, so much easier to get a.
Yeah, I was impressed by his first debut here in kickoff on that chamber role in the last best of 3. But this, he was phenomenal, right? We saw him going for those first aggressive picks. We saw him playing those secondary angles. We even saw him players like jump spotting and baiting for him to go for even more there. And he just found so much impact, especially going against a team who started off pretty slow there.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9, they came in with a tempo, they came in with a game plan. You guys just said it as well. Again, like, they knew everything that is coming their way. Their defense was like impeccable. Like there's literally nothing really that they did wrong. Like they got the first kills. They did everything right.
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, Coach Emmy said like he had the read and it was clear here, right? We saw Lev not really taking space early on, you know, kind of just sitting back, waiting for C9 to do something, but they never did until we saw that mid round where they kind of aggressed, picking them apart. And as soon as they got that first kill, it's kind of like Lev fell apart. They didn't have an answer to come back into the rounds. You know, after C9 did get those first picks, we would see them kind of tuck back into sight to not allow them to kind of even out numbers again.
It was a 9-3 half, but 10 of the first kills going the way of C9 is insane, especially because we just saw this map of Bind being played yesterday by LEV. So the fact that Yumi is saying that he got the chance and the time to study it, knowing that these games are back-to-back, is insane. And you can tell really what the understanding was. You know that LEV is going to be holding those angles, waiting for the push, and how you react. You're swinging those angles with the operator, finding one, backing up, and they were doing it. It was so good.
And I mean, the player that was also mentioned here in the interview between Alex and me, Celsius. We knew what he brings to the table as their IGL, right? We saw that leadership, we saw that big brother energy and him like rallying the troops. But now he's also a fragging IGL, I guess. Like these numbers, like we're not used to that seeing it from Celsius.
No, I think we saw him in this kickoff kind of show that he is a really good IGL, really good at knowing when to call certain plays, certain defaults, certain setups. And he's really good at adapting mid-round too, being that big voice to kind of adjust in those mid-round situations. But here today, we saw him absolutely pop off, which is something I have been waiting for and rooting for Zellers, because I want to see him get these kills. I want to see him kind of thrive and be that fragging IGL that we kind of highlighted earlier today.
That's what we've seen for the past couple of weeks in the matches that he's played. Even though he's had some great calls, some great wins, great ideas, it seems like the kill department was lacking a little bit. So the fact that he was popping off today, getting so many openings as well, and even you have Oxy hyping you up, that's when you know things are going right for your team.
Yeah, and I love that they have been actively focusing on that as well. And when it then translates into performance like what we've seen today, oh boy, Cloud9 is a scary team to go up against. And now, of course, we have one more map that they have to win. What do you expect to see from them on Breeze?
I am very interested to see this Breeze. For LEV, we haven't seen it yet at all, with and without Neon. But on the side of Cloud9, we've seen it 2 times. The first time that they played it was against NRG when they brought that breach that it was kind of surprising, kind of interesting. Caught NRG off guard. They had a lot of difficulty adapting. Second time they played it was against Envy. They switched that breach. They bring the Astra. They were not able to close it out. So this time around, I just have my questions. Which one are they going to play?
Yeah, especially going up against a team like LEV, who we don't know what they're going to run on this comp, but we know how they like to play, playing a little bit slower. We've seen that as a common trend for them on every single map. So I wouldn't be, I feel like either comp works, but I would kind of love to see a breach just to kind of disrupt their slowness, right?
Let's actually head over to the stage again and hear what Owner has to say of map 2.
All right, here with Coach Owner of Leviathan. Coach, difficult game for you guys. We know what this team is capable of. We see the talent. We've seen what you guys have put together here. Where do you think things kind of fell short in that bind game, and how do you look to improve it as we get ready for map 2?
I think that we started good, we won the pistol in attack, in disadvantage. We built momentum, we were like 5 against 4 in 2-1, and we couldn't close that round. I think that round stopped our momentum. We had a really hard time to play against operator in attack. And then in defense, I think that we were kind of nervous already. Remember, like the first 2 games that we played in the kickoff, we lost a lot of ecos. We lost the last map and eco with advantage, map advantage. So I think that we have to reset, to forget about it, and just play like the boys know. Like you said, against Sentinel, we play way better, so we are capable of.
Of course. All right, Coach, pleasure. As always, best of luck in the next match. Catch you guys in a few.
Owner says, reset, forget about it. But that is so much easier said than done when everything is on the line. We're talking about an elimination match.
This is going to be an interesting one. LEV, that one LATAM team that has to stay alive to be the representatives in Santiago. They're on the verge of elimination, and it's a map that we haven't seen from that yet.
Yeah, and all of that is going to go down after a short break, so stand by, and Riff and Vance will be on the mics once again.
Pai, o joguinho literalmente vai ser pegado. Kale.
Rounds. The thing is if you listen to the
Já
conversation
parece
of
mais
maybe with Golden Boy,
interessante.
he already came in
Tem
with
um
saying
time
we
agora
already
bem
knew the game plan
interessante
and
pra
what to do
caramba.
against Leviathan on the first map of Bind. They haven't really had a chance to see the Bind of Leviathan yet, although the composition is something that's familiar, that they played against before, that they've seen, and that we've seen throughout the VCTs. They should still have a good idea of how to deal against this Leviathan comp.
The Sheriffs are still there for LEV. They like going strong. If they're starting on attack, they go on that very minimal util, but more so onto firepower. And why not? They like to play a little default, and then they get into that death ball, so create the firing line.
This is also where Leviathan could definitely shine, so bunch of young hungry fraggers for Leviathan. Another Sheriff pistol round for the whole crew, with the exception of King, putting 3 stars into his arsenal. Neon already walking up. They actually have the crossfire set up to try to punish on middle, but unfortunately Neon already fell.
Yeah, quick wall up too. Penny's gonna move forward here. Another one for himself. Sheriffs are still alive, so headshots are still a possibility, but yeah, it's gonna be for Zelsis though. A flawless first round possibly, as C9 just read LEV like a book here, and the 0 point's gonna give up Spike's position.
So much trust put into the nature of how you're trying to approach this map of Breeze. Leaving Zelsis solo onto the A site, and they're trying to just crunch into a mid control, and it works perfectly. Fortunately, because Leviathan were peeking one by one towards that elbow, trying to find a surprise attack and trying to leverage her firepower with the Sheriff rounds. But it becomes a flawless for C9 instead.
All of them come out with the Sheriff now.
That's true.
Feels good.
That actually puts you in a
Pro
prime
início vai
position in
ser
anti-eco.
vai ser uma
Upgrade
seca.
around that.
Nice coverage all around the map for that.
Baby, good round, Penny.
And that's on him playing his individual wall. Walking through his own wall that he put up and surprising his opponent. Second round, Judge around the corner. Neon could maybe make his way through Sato, but the rest would probably get mowed down.
Following the gate crash, just staring straight at it. Daring him to make a play over there on B. Spike's just outside it waiting as they have a really nice push through tunnel here. If they can get the teamwork going down, King starts off. Can they get the swing? Oh, they can, right into Zeppa's crosshair. Goes for 3. And yeah, they're going to be able to clean this one up.
Kill veio como? De graça.
Zeppa still was able to sweep the feet.
I was just about to say there's absolutely no way they should TP right where it was, because not only was Vic watching it, but there was no pressure really that allows a TP to happen. Even if you're flashing and darting towards that back site, if you're going to TP there solo, main players were all like, what, on a 4-1 split? Gonna get caught. Instead, they line up. No spread to try to guarantee the trade against Zeppa. I call that easy for sure.
The guy just did something gross. Nobody look. All right. Push up from Oxy. Trying to play that Marshall straight up in front of A main. He'll always go for the peak. Dash is on.
Yeah, outlaw that is. That's already a 140 on Sato. Already got to fall back.
Yes.
Not necessarily the similar look here for Cloud9, despite them having some good presence on middle in that pistol round there. They've inserted Vic all the way towards that elbow because he keeps playing from a Judge to a Bucky. Yeah, that allows a gap for a lurk up from Neon to even out the tally in this round. actually spread out. And actually, they got the player advantage. I forgot Sato survived that 10 HP. Get picked off by the Outlaw in the beginning.
Or peek here from Oxy once again, making sure there's no timing on the cross. That's something Vic also has to look. Really covered on the ways that Lev could push here. And tricking me. Outlaw, you're all right. A few more, still has that return on investment from the buys, but it's a knee shot. So now he's got 2 people on 10 HP.
Make them suffer.
Yeah.
Limp into the site. Here is that explosion from Leviathan. Despite player advantages, they could definitely get mowed down by the stack of Cloud9 with 3 until Vic comes in to cut the rotates.
Oh my gosh. The low health finally being cleaned up a little bit here. Zelsis in sight as Neon just looks for a different out. A really nice escape there for a moment here to join up with Sato. I love the play. Gonna try to raise the advantage any way he can to get another one down before the round ends. Why not? Looks like this one just fizzles out as Zelsis goes hunting loud through the site. Neon's playing a game of cat and mouse here. 3-0 as C9 grabbed their bonus. They weren't really able to grab a pistol last time. Still running through with the momentum here in the half 2 though.
And their spec given to Zelsis. 2 of them at 10 HP each. There was not too much time left. They had to commit by probably widely into the site to try to go for a plant.
I 140 on 3 people.
Yeah.
So Zelsis just had to run around that site, and just the footstep that he makes forces the TP. So that we could just save these 2 rifles in the next round for Leviathan. Hopefully they could get something working within this round. It's quite fast as they're splitting into this A site.
For the reload so we can get another fast 2. Oh, the moment Neon scopes. They can be for a second interscope, but it's not there for him. Who knows? Still going to be safe behind the wall on the site, and they'll give Lev some space on this. But we saw what happened here on Bind. C9 had such good retakes. A little bit of a lurk here from King could be huge.
Not many bricks, so everybody could focus on fighting towards this A side until it's lurked from.
My God.
Oh my God.
Oh, just one. Oxy hit almost looked like a triple collat, though. One of those was. And he is going to be easily cleaning up kills. We'll have to see how that happened for him, but he is just miles this
Just sucks being the POV observer in that round because we're like, oh crap, we have such a great timing from King, and then suddenly Oxy just pops players with the Outlaw. So a collat on one. Ooh. Yeah, everybody's just lined up looking towards those doors.
There's like a double take there, huh? Nicely done.
Surprising with the timing that King has found that the rest of the team were still so focused on watching into the mid doors. Thought they still had a timing on that wall or something like that, but definitely a miscom on who's watching what. That kind of probably solidifies what Owner was mentioning before again in the between the maps. We're looking a little bit nervous. Patient's not looking the best right now for Leviathan here. Definitely getting punished. To get a plant down, they got money to work with. No ops for Neon. I continue to go for this mid control. Low mid take. It did come into value for a couple of picks in the very beginning here for Leviathan, but just entering into these fights has still been a pain point, especially when Nine continues to play like very passively on the extremities, forcing Leviathan to come towards them, and they just get picked off.
That shot from Tunnel, so Neon can stay quiet. Great start from King. Need that from the leader. Start the momentum, to start the mentality that there's a chance through these rounds, because really, Cloud9 has been snuffing out Lev at every turn.
Yeah, Neon just heard the rotate into spawn. He's going to get this free kill onto Zelsis.
So good. He doesn't spin, right? Okay. Let it go. See how much more info he can get. How confident is Zelsis? Gonna swing out, which really alerts them. He was trying to also rotate towards that B site. He's gonna try to help his team, help stop Oxy and Zeppa. Is it too much from C9 though? Vic, pretty sure he's deathless right now heading into this 1v2. Can he keep it that way?
All around the world as well. More it takes for him to rotate. I think they'll soon realize for Lev that should be on that big flank. So I love that they double up rather, play towards that castle as a star onto the plant. Play the time into their favor.
Stars to use, just gets a nebula back up. Actually, full uses that smoke instead of a dismiss. Already, second beep. Gonna be a hangout, I think. Yeah, waiting for those exits. So nice job by LEV. Get that push towards mid. They're shots. Finding some nice timings here after the time they've been taking finally pays off in a round.
É, chat. Me fudeu. Cloud9 levou bonito.
A lot harder for Leviathan despite them winning the round. Great display of patience by Neon here, but it's almost a very similar look of what we've seen from Leviathan online. They go into the mid round when they try to insert somebody to cut these rotates. Not many teams really go into this, especially when Breeze now has come back. Not many teams are trying to get into that window, but Leviathan has done it twice now. King when he had got that lurk and then unfortunately got punished right away. This time by Neon. Should be watched by C9 from now on.
King on an op. On this one, they're going to go for this B site. King hanging all the way back to try to shoot over their shoulder, but I think they need the team here. He is able to offer up a little bit of help. Zeppa just slows things down with the Hunter's Fury for now as they reset the pace of this round. Spikes down. Nothing far, nothing seen by the drone just yet, so they're going to have to creep in. Use the rest of this util to flash. Fragment grenade with shock darts. They should be able to clear out some of these areas. Nice little spread here by LEV. First fragment allows them to somewhat take that back portion of the site, and they get the kill onto Spike. Already working out in C9's favor. They've identified Neon at ladder, and now it's going to be the shots from King. Oh, he starts the round and he ends the round. King with a 4K.
That's one of the things here where Cloud9 faltered to G2. It always looks so good in the very beginning, but then when it comes
Não, chat, mas eu acho que hoje tudo vai acabar com 2 rounds.
You just omit to clear one more corner. And King is able to do what he was able to do to help Leviathan win against Sentinels.
Yeah.
Get into these timings, these clutch scenarios to save these rounds for.
Porque a Leviathan tá muito dependendo de clutch.
And you're icing it right away. This should be a timeout from Imi's side too. Can't let these happen, and he's probably gonna drill his players to make sure that they don't go into these similar mistakes like they did in the previous games.
And much more methodical here from LEV. It seems like there's more trust. The nerves are kicked off here from the first game in these plays, and they're behind each other to make it happen. Still, C9's doing quite a bit of damage, but that's what LEV's finally weathering and getting some rounds in their favor.
Well, they definitely needed a clutch from King to get that second round.
They did.
Everything else around that in terms of the gun battles has still been favoring Cloud9 from that first map. Had to use what Cosmic Divine to really pop into the site. Yeah. This timeout though for Mimi allows for Owner to talk with the team as well. They have a couple of vaults that can start cycling if they get some war control in the beginning, although they haven't really shown too much of a heavy presence towards the extremities at the beginning of these rounds. It'll change though. Sato is actually perched up on that side.
Yeah. Gotta get a little momentum under himself here. Right now he's got the curse debuff for saying what his wish was.
Grab the orb, TP out, join the team, ult into the B site.
See what they can make out of this. The plan from the get-go, orb, Sato grab info. Can they get around to kill Vic? Flexing kills Penny to start. Vic will hide, not too far though, since he's stopped by the Viper bite. Oh, they're still not clearing. They're playing this one a little slow, but no, Neon's in their face. That's what they were looking for. Just setting up a little bit of the bait and switch. So, actually fast play from Zelsis here with the speed that Oxy is able to move with that operator through the flank position.
Only got that plant down now. So Oxy might be able to move in here towards the window with the op, but unfortunately with Zelsis falling, that might change the plans.
One click, he'll go for it. Still 800 on him. That's his first ult point, so there's really just the fight going in. Tries to smoke. Smoke maze himself in there. Neon's like, I know exactly what you're doing. Plays the shorty close range, and the timeout's not going to work right away for C9. LEV grab another one.
I wonder if he hit him with that left click of that knife. I think he did. Nonetheless, though, I think
just swinging.
What has been obvious here for the side of Leviathan, sorry, as well, is as soon as they got big ults to work with, they fast tempo into these hits. Once they cycle it through, back to the very slow game. So I think it gives an opportunity now for C9 to start discussing a bit as well, to say, okay, well, we got to get ready for these fast pops. How do we delay through this? Pit and Hunter's Fury available within this round. And there you go. How do you find that information early? Already finally an early knife out on this side. It actually hits 2 players, including that Hunter's Fury from blows. Take that control towards A main.
Almost have to get the info on where Lev's moving now. They aren't inserting anymore and making noise in positions. They're kind of moving the map and then hitting. E9 has to figure it out early. Jumping steps over here. Should be a quick clear.
Oh.
Should be a quick clear, but it's Oxy. Snapping a quick hospital flick to Spike's head there.
That's crazy. Although they fell back instead of going to pick up the weapon, and nice on Neon to cut the rotate back. That's still walking into the B site. Sheriff also being played by Vic.
Love the Kings on solo peek on to be here to see if anybody will come through. Clouds from Neon are walked on for a moment as he gets a kill on Vic. They're just going to hold this site strong. Blows onto Penny. C9 is kind of just giving them the ones here as they're peeking left and right. A little bit of the Guardian low by, so they're not too worried about things. And it should be a cleanup for Sato. He gets one on the board. We're started now. The fire's lit. And Lev are going to tie up the game with 4-4.
First rare miss there by Zelsis in terms of the duels that he's been picking up in this series. But C9, they find that info early, but they're also on were on an eco rather. A nice pick there. Trying to split that site on that B site for Cloud9, forcing them to cross over that wall, but simple when you're able to updraft over that.
Big hit.
Caralho, que bang foi essa, mano?
Não sei. Só sei que foi até legal.
Não, é que ele tenta pegar a Dora ali na entrada. Mas mesmo assim, ninguém chegou lá, pô.
That middle wall, though. Alt over on the B side, here by C9. May force the hand of Lev to go through tunnel. They have that mid somewhat watched by the side of Vic. Yeah, Lev doing a bit of that walk up again, seeing how close they can get before they activate, how much time they can kind of whittle away.
So we definitely see the power of that double initiator. The knife, one single knife wasted so much util from Leviathan to start. Then after that, get the drone into the mid round. It allows for them to readjust. You see now Zelsis flashing into the double doors, trying to cover that spot.
You re-clear. Yeah. He sniffed it out. Quick shot. Very nice call for that knife to come through again here so they can re-clear an area. Get the movement out of A main. Now towards B. The initial strat for Lev, what they've been trying to work mid the whole time. Already quite low for Neon, but he's going to try to be the front of this one as they go for a little spawn action first before planting, and they meet a wall. That wall's name is Zelsis. A third one for him there, as it just looks too easy for C9 to read these slower rounds from Lev.
Yeah, just 2 walls. Cosmic Divide on the defense, where you can't cross into B, you get into the arches and face plant. Right into Zelsis. The reads are good. Further back, I mean, nice shot by Oxy. Bit of a miscom going through there, because you saw the pathing from Leviathan when they decided to move out towards that half wall and push out towards the arches. It only ended up being one player swinging in the front. The other one had his back turn against him. Lev just got easily pulled down by the lineup of Zelsis. Now a change of pace, C9 aggro.
Caralho, já mandei eu pra unir, tem 2. Pegou. Matou 2 varados. Puxou a faca para matar F. E jogou muito bem.
With a little bit of blood on the floor, but it's mostly Lev's. And now it's just King again, searching around where he might find a kill for the end of this round.
Só sobrou a Astra agora.
But that said, like I said, they tried to go for an aggro change of tempo for C9, but Leviathan as well. Just a couple of rounds ago, I was just mentioning, they don't like to go very quickly when they don't have these big ults to work with for Leviathan. I would assume maybe they were trying to move in quickly to just get the pit down. They tempoed quickly through the double doors. Oxy was ready for that. Watch each other's backs. They had full control of that A main, forcing King now on a save.
So clean from C9 right now. Seems like they're even reading the plays at the beginning of the round for LEV here. Know that LEV feel really uncomfortable if C9 do make a play and stop that default from happening right away. Really able to get under LEV's skin. Save here, as we know, for King. They have a few ultimates coming online here with even Sato's just on deck if they can get another ult orb. Gotta find something that works. The mid has given them the most distance into a site, into long post plant. If they go to control mid again.
If they want to control that middle for Leviathan, I feel like they have to slow that a little bit more. I think that extremity control is very important if they want to try to finish towards that A site. But you also have to use players that where you trust their aim. You know they're going to win these solo duels, right? You need inserts on that elbow so that you can finish into the mid round on a mid control. But I think A side to try to stop Oxy and Zelsis together right there would be a great way to allow for you to finally get that mid control. Because what happens, the other few rounds where Leviathan are able to take that mid control, C9's giving it to them. And then once they try to cross that line of scrimmage to get into the sites, there's not enough time left. They trip on their own laces, and then they just get stopped by C9 no matter what. This game looks really close, despite that.
Exactly.
But
still 6-4.
It started off with a 4K from King. I think that maybe broke the econ from C9 right after, so that maybe have been, you know, the silver lining that allowed Leviathan to start stringing some rounds together. But outside of that, it's been C9 through the macro from beginning to the end.
And I love that we're getting a bit of a jet match here, as you see on your screen. 10-6-1 Neon.
Pai, eu acho que acabando essa, eu acho que eu vou dormir, que eu tô quase brigando já com o sono.
In a position as well where we heard Cloud9 say, you know, Penny's going to kind of take that role, but here, you know,
muito afim de assistir o NRG, mas
true to form Jet, and you are getting it from him. So really cool to see we get a little Jet v Jet match here between the two, and Lev is starting to put up those numbers to come back.
Oxy's looking to op right into that B main. So if they try to drone just to try to pit Hunter's Fury, whatever, he's going to try to catch them right away. They have to be ready for this.
O Kayle tá na B. A porra da barreira cruzada.
Flash sword behind him. Almost catches Sato Util out in a moment.
That's a window though. Leviathan could start tempoing up here and catch them off guard with these ults.
He's already on the tunnel line. And that one he's not going to miss. Actually takes down his counterpart in Neon. Looks for another one just on the outside of the wall. Almost gets the fadeaway shot, and he is getting pressured hard. Wants to go for the fight again. And he cannot be stopped. It's going to take an ultimate to shut Oxy down.
Rest number falling.
Still knows the site is not safe. But Lev isn't doing much more than kind of hanging out, waiting for somebody else to make a move. As that mid portion fizzled out, they couldn't enter B main as fast as they wanted.
Now we're just ready for that. Despite this being an eco for Leviathan, I mean, you already had the high-low looking into the window. And once Oxy spots some opponents, you just delay. Or mollies, double mollies. I think it was Zelsis and Vic playing the high-low at that spot.
Yeah.
So you can't even follow up behind that for Leviathan.
Pegou, operei, também salvou.
Still a big focus here for C9 to get those first kills. Just make that 4v5 conversion so hard for Lev. He doesn't miss a beat, that's for sure.
Oxy in prime form too. Understood as well for as much as he stalled and when he peeked out towards that B main.
Fiquei curioso, mas agora eu entendi porque que ele faz a barreira da B aqui assim. Porque literalmente se você pensar, o cara para fazer retake, ele tem uma puta espação para ele conseguir voltar aqui por trás.
He sees probably a little bit of that orb from Yoru searching him out. So they get the safety behind the Cosmic Divide, and this should be Lev's round to set up everything they want in a perfect style defense to shut down C9 in the retake. See what C9 can do though.
Very nice pit that they have. He can tuck into the corner towards A main, run away from a lot of util. That's exactly where he's going right now for Spike Zine. The rest of them can play inside of it or just outside to listen for some info.
Oh, King, so good at just the cut-off plays as teams are transitioning back to the other site. And this makes C9 sweat a little bit. Even more that Zelsis is down. They don't even need abilities here. It's just about the aim for Lev. That loss of one player isn't even going to scare him one bit. Blows with a quick kill. Another one as well. And a 7-5 scoreline as Lev is really able to fix a lot of what they found problems in on the first map.
Thanks to King.
Thanks to King again, honestly.
Cutting 2 rotates into the post plant. When he's left on an island as well. He's also the last line of defense in the post plant when he has this Astra to play with. That said though, a great job overall despite it looking very one-sided in terms of the map for Cloud9. Leviathan's able to keep this close.
See what they can get on the next half. We are going to be heading over to GB with co-streamer Toto.
So much for that, fellas. Yes, joined here by Toto, the pocket KO himself. The man who, if you ever want to know how to be a good KO in your ranked games, this is the guy to watch on YouTube. Now, Toto, first things first, welcome to the Riot Games Arena. You having fun so far?
I'm having a blast, bro.
Yeah. Now, what's the experience been like and the vibe?
Mano, sabe por que eu comecei a jogar KO? Por causa desse cara.
The crowd's amazing here. Shout out to the crowd.
Yeah, shout out to the crowd. Give yourself a round of applause. So you gotta do it. You gotta like lead them into it.
First series, 100 Thieves is my team.
Porque ele literalmente ele deu todos os spots e eu sei todos os spots de KO.
I need the birthday man Sato to heat up for us. I want a good map series. Map 3.
Yeah, I know. I'm right there with you. Real quick though, you've played Valorant all across Japan. You hit Radiant playing across Japan. What's a place that you would like to go and play Valorant in another country?
Philippines.
The Philippines. Hey, I like that. We also got some Filipinos in the house as well. All right, guys, back to you. Take it away.
Appreciate.
Love that. Love hearing from our co-streamers. Thank you, GB and Toto, for chiming in here on this matchup. Much closer than the first one too, so it is getting pretty spicy between these two teams. We'll have to see if Cloud9's attack now is too much for LEV, or do they have the defense figured out? Do they have something we're unaware of?
I want to see their attack as well for Cloud9. I think this is the third time they're playing Breeze. They went from a Breach comp that we'll never talk about again. They went into the double duelist comp the second time they played it. Now they're going to the double initiator comp, which then for me, Penny playing this role, is he going to try to activate a lot more on lurks? And I think just on the nature of this composition, you're looking to get to default a lot towards middle, very similarly to how you have to approach the map really for these changes on Breeze. They have the perfect comp for that, because now you can flash through the Viper wall on defense, but also knife for information on top of that, and not just being a Yoru crutch to be able to help your team activate backside. Cool. Double walk down from LEV.
Yeah, keeping themselves protected in the tunnel. Wonder if they were going to kind of backpedal and see what was happening mid there, but safe play to stay together for the time being. I think they are going to actually back out though, leaving a quick insert there, but a dangerous spot for Sato.
The difference for the buys for Cloud9 as well. Yeah. They like to go a lot for these ghosts instead of the 4 or 5 sheriffs that we usually hear from Leviathan on the other side. They do want to use a little bit of util, but they haven't used a util to try to get in first, and they're getting shut down by LEV already.
What did Neon clear Oxy? I have to see that again in the replays. That was crazy as the wall was coming up, and it's not going to take much longer the rest of the members of C9 to be found trying to enter the site here from a distance. LEV is hitting these shots, trying to clean up Zeppa.
Out of this though,
a lot of time.
Decides to commit into the lurk pick. Or isolated in fights though.
Yeah. Nice ability to turn back on that one and get the kill.
Vamos.
Nato with 2 towards the alt point. Spike's actually getting 3 towards the alt there. So nice little setup first round. Still a few alive. See if LEV can now carry this momentum.
And it looks like he saw the jiggle of the Nova in the back of the site instead of the Yoru just tucked in. 2 body shots too. Yeah, after the first player dies here from Zelsis as he's trying to jump spot for the knife. Have the extra util to support on the entry for the rest of the team. Got lined up and picked off by Leviathan. Good start. Pistol rounds have been pretty decent for Leviathan throughout the series. Now an outlaw for Neon on a defense. Different look for Cloud9. They actually look to heavily lean towards the A side and control the orb.
Yeah. 0 point allows you to know if it's free or not all the time. Almost a free kill there, but it took a back and forth. King comes away, not too worse for the wear. They'll be able to set up on this for a few more kills. Penny and Zeppa holding the spike, so they get some money to themselves here as they get to the next round. Maybe a little bit more, too. Drop some members.
This is where it will potentially get dangerous for Cloud9. You have Neon already showing that he has a scope to work with, but with this, how big this site is, or with the changes, you can still go for these open fights. Have a possibility here to play a lot of scope out of Livia. Santo and Neon at the same time, but they're also trying to figure out how to maximize the fuse for the orbs. Why do we have to show that? Poor guys.
Like us, Vans. Like us.
No, I'm clean. I'm clean.
Well, he's like, I'm watching the dart, and then somebody pops out. Yeah, it was right.
Good jobs by the producers not to call hot audio on that one, because it makes it even funnier to just watch King silently mime what the hell just happened in that previous round. That said, though, back into the series grounds, Cloud9 has a rifle round to work with. What this plan allows for them to confirm util, full armor, to play against this Neon Outlaw, who still gets the opening pick. A headshot will not save you. You got the Outlaw wielded.
And still trying to grab that mid space after they got kind of juked out by the drone Outlaw play. They don't really have an entry now. So it's got to be everybody together here after this flash, after initiator util. May even have to wait for a sonar bolt. Time will tick down. LEV is going to go ahead and get themselves back into more anchor positions as mid getting a little love from C9, but they still have quite a bit of space around the map.
Oh, that's huge. That first pick right there, but Sato stays very patient. They're trying to do for Cloud9 right now is to force him to leave so that, Zeppa can find the timing, and he does so just in the nick of time.
Playing the map, not even the sights here. So clean from Cloud9, and they wait King out. They know King for being the one to catch the rotations, be in middle, catch him getting into that position. 7-7 here, and C9 have the read to push themselves.
That's just little nice things in terms of the fundamentals of understanding the map control here in tactical FPS, and that's the experience here that Zeppa, Zelsis, and even Amy as a coach has been showing for quite a long time. Yes, until now. I mean, you look at the inserts, they make a lot of noise, they cut that noise, Zeppa makes a play, then all they do is just anchor up. Don't want to force the hand to say, we have to push because we already got picks. They force the hand of the defenders to actually peek to find information because they're now starting to info and they have to put
tá dormindo já.
Another one of those was Zelsis just kind of
Vai dormir, Manolo.
That was a swing peek onto mid or doors and get a kill in A. So the 1v1 C9 are cleaning up too when they're being called upon for those situations. They get their first gun round.
Acabou essa partida aqui, eu já vou encerrar a live também. Tô só segurando. Então eu consigo ficar até meia-noite, mas não tá afim não. Meu ânimo, eu já tô vendo que eu tô distraído já, porque eu já tô acho que umas 5 horas de live. Deixa eu ver.
Like that. It doesn't spawn anybody yet. You're picking up, I mean, slowly. Any other day.
Só isso aqui já são 3 horas já, mano.
Dying right away, but thankfully you're lucky.
Mais umas 2 horas antes, né? Tô umas 5, 6 horas já de live já. Você é louco.
Counter drone here as well from the defender side, so identified 3 players from Leviathan on his crossfire setup for mid control.
And this is do it if it works, right? Spikes down, they're working the map instead of the site again. Slowly creeping in everywhere they can. Make LEV realize they're missing timings, missing windows.
We're going to need some calls by Zelsis because Leviathan gave so much space for C9 and they could go anywhere they want in this mid round. Might be down towards A. Is it okay? Well, if Foxy gets a pick here towards B, do we rotate back towards that side? Do we try to hit towards A? Nobody's rotated from Leviathan yet, and they haven't heard any noise on the attack for C9 on these rotates.
Looks like it is going to be a B fake on this hit. Oh, util out just tells a story of how unready Lev was, how close C9 could be in their eyes for these plays. And they are going to be peeking out from everywhere now. Lev's wondering how C9 is all over the map at one time. It's because they're inserting themselves so well here. That's crazy the way that looked.
That's the issue of playing this single initiator for the composition of Lev. You need now to leverage Sato with the TP, jump spot, try to find some info, TP another place, be more active around
Bueno, Sova vai atacar a flash ou vai deixar quieto?
C9 were spread out across and they found
Boa
some
pergunta.
value out of it. Could have been a different story if the shots were landing, of course, for Leviathan's side, but another round of those rounds where C9 are one step ahead of the macro. Like when Oxy is moving towards that B side and makes noise, they already heard the rotate from Neon back out towards that tunnel, so they knew it was weak side towards
sabem
as
que
well.
tá aqui já. É. Ganharam.
He said, I did 142 damage. Everybody started running. Get another all point online. 9-7 now for Cloud9. Stringing together rounds since their first gun round there. What is the answer? All points. I mean, they're close to Cosmic Divide for Lev. Still pretty far away for an answer to come back strong with those. So it's got to be reading C9's map control.
Sato not having a chance here to always shut down quite often by C9, and funny because again talking about Zeppa, how do you stop and slow down somebody like Neon? But they've done an excellent job slowing another star player across Leviathan and Sato. Forcing an eco for Leviathan, Marshall for Neon. Have a little bit of a walk down for Leviathan, which saw that a little bit more towards these gun rounds to leverage the Viper Wall on defense as well to take that mid counter it against Cloud9. If it's not going to be the look now, hopefully their next rifle round. Just have to not allow C9 to get so much space to work with.
Already choosing the soft site. And probably on this 30-second mark. C9 get as close as possible. You can see Zelsis 4 seconds on the 0 point. And they crash site. It's just enough time for Sato to get back, but it is going to be that low buy. How much can they get in the face of C9? Living by the skin of his teeth, spikes in, actually gets a big kill there. As Penny and Oxy right the wrongs of the site for now, but they're being closed on and very quick.
3x3.
Vic rather will stare down the scope from that ladder side. Marshall from the hip. Yeah, huge stun there to clean up another kill. They're giving C9 some problems here. 8 seconds to plant. And they're going to start running at him to create even more pressure. Oh, the swing from Vic. The flick is so good. King and blows get swept away, and C9 grab another round.
Wow. Saving that round too. I saw that Spike was almost going to get taken down by the spray in the first place through the smoke. He survives just enough to do chaos. Start that chaos with the crossfire from that back of the site. And then Leviathan encroaches. C9 looked like they were hesitating a bit. Gets that second kill. If he doesn't, it was 0.5 seconds left, and it's back to a 1v1. Where now you could play Ring Around the Rosie, and if you win it off time, at least guaranteed for Leviathan. But thankfully, Vic is there to save the round for Cloud9.
C9 can just flex their muscles with ultimates here if they want. Null Command's going to go off first. Lev will just stay on their side of that Viper Wall for now. Another Cosmic Divide comes out, so one wall goes down, another comes up. Another time C9 is cycling smokes to make it tough for Lev here in the site.
And now it's Leviathan that has to up the tempo. You have the Hunter's Fury available for a Zeppa. And the Cosmic Divide delays it even more. Nice big fight though to start for C9 to solidify this post plant.
Oxy just dodges out one. Flash dodge as
Pegou
well.
mais
Make sure
um.
that's not the real Yoru. His daggers. Looks for a quick kill. Goes for the short. He knows it's going to be the
200.
combat they got to be ready for.
200.
And blows. Finds a few, but there's so many more of Cloud9 right now. 11-7 here.
Chat,
Attack side count.
Manda um salve pro Guerreiro depois, né?
Cosmic Divine, a solo play, I think, from Penny that was at the mid double doors and able to win that fight. For the rest of them, though, they have to cross such a difficult position in that back of that A site. The new area that's been opened up here on Breeze, and that's been very... It's given a chance for players on the attack. Post plant.
Woo! I don't know what was happening. They were on my ass, though.
That's what I'm saying in terms of defense or attack. That new spot in the back of Breeze, you can anchor that a little bit better now with you able to support you across the board on both sides. C9 takes the upper hand.
And LEV have to buckle down. Elimination in just a few more rounds as C9 is really mounting the pressure. That Hunter's Fury is going to start off. Celsius takes a bit of damage here, but LEV want to start action first. Neon could be one to do it. Exactly what they need. Still one of the initiators out. No, the next util is going to be the one that C9 has to break into sight with. Oxy walk up again through tunnel. It's not going to be the first time King has the timing of the map so far.
But the second insert, though, right here from Vic, that might be a game changer for C9 in this round.
Right before the smoke comes up, and they still find two more on Leviathan as a play hasn't even activated yet. There's just smokes going up and down. Quick ult, it's going to get them a little bit of an insert into sight here, but it's not full. How are they going to work this from here?
It's on Vic again.
It is on Vic, and he swings out of a smoke to get it. Zappa makes himself known and goes on the backside, clearing position and giving Penny time to plant. And now
Leviathan vai ter que fazer retake sozinho.
Neon, putting up numbers in his games, and he asks for quite a bit here. First kills there, get a little bit of view. Love the play as he sees actually where another player is. Hard to be identifying where any of your enemies are at this point. Oh, they draw his vision. Oh, he could still get it. The snap's not going to be there. It's Vic in the end who's been the safe pair of hands for C9.
Again, it's that second insert. Even though Oxy saw that hand of Sato, I love that King swung back out just to double check and made sure that the tunnel was clear. Gets that pick, but unfortunately they don't fully re-clear. Vic cuts to rotate, sneaks into the site, opens up the site for Cloud9 and even gets the last pick in the end. There's just unfortunately no real answer right now for Leviathan outside of their aim that seems to have stepped up from that previous map.
Yeah.
There's that mid-crunch that we wanted, but it's Outlaw that's got to put Neon down to 10 HP.
Almost too little too late. They're trying to give C9 things that Cloud9 should worry about. They still push forward. They're taking the space. Spike down even on a round where they're ready to find fights and know there's a low buy for LEV here.
Defender wall, though. It's a little bit deeper towards the door. Less poison orb on the attack.
Puxou uma outlaw ali pra matar no corredor, vai vir.
Oh. D9 coming out on top of every situation. It even looks like LEV may have the upper hand, and up and over. They're trying to break the crosshairs, and they do break down Spike. Not before he gets a kill. Is that enough? Already C9 still cross map, have positioning on if someone's flanking, they can all look towards the back of the site here to put the final touches on this series. Take that win to move on and kick off. Now on to King, M blows, looking to get a swing on this Guardian. They're trying to work together here and break the wall at the same time. A fine by Penny, but he gets a hip shot. Outlaw onto King face to face. So much to be asked of here by blows. Zappa's gonna get the final kill. Cloud9 come away with
Já era, mano, Eva.
GG.
GG. Falei que hoje ia ser 2-0 para os dois. É. Bom, chat, muito obrigado. Eu até aguentaria o NRG e tudo mais. Porém, Manuel está com sono e eu também estou com sono já tá começando a bater. Então é o seguinte, eu vou encerrar a live agora e agradecendo a todos, agradecendo ao Paulo por ter vindo, a Yuno por ter aparecido.